running?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, we're
We
live.
are
Sometimes,
live.
so
All right, we are back.
I came up with this
ladies and
saying.
gentlemen.
Sometimes when life gives you lemons, you make apple juice.
Right,
And we just did that.
We just did, and I said if you let it ferment, it's really drinkable.
Fermentate.
Fermentate.
Nonetheless, we are live. We're back here again. JB's Tavern.
Fermentation. I know what I'm talking about.
Fermentation.
Yeah,
we're back here live at JB's, 4305 Brookpark Road. Come on down. They got some amazing pizza, some really good soft pretzels. We're going to actually bring the owner on here in a minute to let you know what his story is as well, because he's an awesome dude. And then we're going to get into some brown stuff. We're going to have Ralph Holley on. We got a big night planned for everybody. It's going to be a great night. Anything you guys want to add before we were rudely interrupted before with silence?
No, it's just technical difficulty, and you figured it out, brother. That's what I'm talking about. We get her done. That's what's up.
Backhand.
We're back on there.
Shout out to Chris from JB's Tavern for allowing us to do it here. Shout out to my wife who's taking care of my kids and allowed me to be here. And most importantly, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Slide over, and then Maze will slide. So when our next guest comes in, he's on there.
We just got to switch to the other camera.
Okay,
we're good.
So we're good. Never mind. All right, cool.
Taking care of stuff.
Taking care of it.
Nonetheless, I guess we can move on to our next.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
So who do you guys want the Browns to draft?
Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter. Okay.
I'm not going to change that. Why would I? That's just me. I want to see that Myles Garrett, Abdul Carter. I want to see those guys like rooks on the chessboard. I've said it before, and let's get after it. I mean, that would be great.
Mike, how about you?
Travis Hunter, man. I mean, the unicorn. Take him while you can.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to honestly play both positions for his whole entire career. You find out what he's best at and you put him there. That's going to be that. Or play him in third and fourth downs as a cornerback. Or if he's better at cornerback, play him at cornerback.
Yep.
Then put him at wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you. Travis Hunter or bust for me. I think Travis will be a great addition to this offense and occasionally the defensive. And if you read the room, okay, so we are read the room type of podcast. When you hear other people, when you hear the other players talk, or the owner, or even Andrew Barry and the coach, you can they're telling you who they like without telling you who they like. And the players were big. Whenever the reporters asked about Travis Hunter, they were big on him. They were excited. So I think, I know a lot of rumors the Browns are going to trade back, but I think that's false. I think they're going to draft the best player and the best athlete, in the draft, and they're going to have a good offense.
I will say too, if we don't take Abdul and we do take Travis, I'm okay with that. That's a plug-and-play guy, just as well as I think that Abdul would be on defense. And like you said, Angel, that Travis brings two to the table. So you got that offensive weapon, a defensive weapon. I think Cleveland will use him more as a wide receiver and plug him in on certain packages on defense, on a dime package or something like that, and coveraging. So I'm good with it, man. I really just want to see, please, Cleveland, go for the easy layup on 2, please. Can we just finally get a pick? We have not had one in like 3 years. I'm ready, man. Let's
so
get
you
this
guys,
going.
you guys don't want to trade back, right?
Wait a minute. We might be the rudest podcast ever. We just talked throughout the entire national anthem.
I just thought about that.
Well, I mean,
Well, we weren't expecting the technical difficulty we had
are
earlier.
in a podcast. I would think.
America.
Yes.
So
America.
we apologize for that if that's not. I usually take my hat off and I stand up even at home when I'm watching. So.
Right. We're going to bring Chris in. You guys ready for that?
Yes, absolutely.
Chris, the
Grab
owner
Chris.
of JB's
Hold on, let me get
Tavern.
Yep.
He's going to come on and he's going to, we're going to ask him some questions. He's going to talk about this beautiful place here located in Parma, Ohio on Brookpark Road. This is for you. If you can't hear, then
Too bad.
you have to wear. Mike has us wearing this just for us cool, because I can hear you technically, but not can.
Absolutely.
Love it. Love
Is he
it.
okay up there? Everything's good?
Is he?
Check.
Are we way too loud for you, Chris?
No, I'm good.
All
All right.
Cool.
He's good.
What's up, Chris?
This is Chris from JB Tavern. He is the owner of this wonderful, wonderful tavern. We, by chance, we're doing the IX Center show. If you don't know, then go back on our feed, and you can see that. And Jen, I have my wife. Her name is Jen.
I asked her earlier. She said she's okay with Jen or Jenny.
Okay, Jen. She stopped by and threw us her business card, and then we called and we met with Chris, and then a relationship happened.
Yep.
a relationship that I am excited for because we came up with the live draft idea, and there's other things that we're going to do together, God willing. And
Absolutely.
I'm excited. How
Yeah,
about you?
yeah, it's been cool. Like
Yeah.
seeing the bar, new people in the bar. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we love this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Nostalgic. It's nostalgia tonight.
they have French. They're known for the French bread pizza, which I had one is really good. If you guys heard the other feed before we cut out, actually you didn't because there was no sound.
Yeah, there was no sound. Probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I know, that's for me.
They have really good French bread pizza. They have a nice pretzel here for appetizer, and the drinks are good. The drinks are amazing.
So, Chris, my first question is to you: is what made you want to be a bar owner?
Man, it was. I guess it was one of those things where I knew I always wanted to do it. It goes back into kind of how I named the bar. So me and my best friend, he owned a bar um, right behind Progressive Field, right next to the Clevelander for years. He was my best friend. We had always planned on owning a bar together. In 2018, he ended up unexpectedly passing away,
Oh,
and it was one of those things. So I kept looking, kept looking. We found this, bought it, kind of like on a whim, like literally within 24 hours of me seeing it. I bought the bar, and I decided to name it after him. So that's why it's called JB's. Obviously, my name's Chris. Named it JB's after Jeff Person,
awesome.
and it was one of those things where it was like we knew that we wanted him to always be like a part of this.
And he,
Yeah,
that's so sweet.
so
man.
it's
That is
funny,
really-
his family still comes up. We get together with his family a couple times a year, and it's always been something that I wanted to make sure that I always did in his memory and his honor.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
That's how you pay homage, man. That's how we do, man. And I like that. That's a great idea. I like how you came about with that, too.
Yeah, we had a lot. It's been a lot of fun.
So I noticed that the bar has a lot of Ohio State stuff. So you're a Ohio State fan.
Yeah,
Did you go to Ohio State?
No, I didn't.
You just a Buckeye fan.
Yeah, I was always. I grew up in Western New York, so south of Buffalo, a small place called Salamanca, New York.
That sounds tiny. No.
Spell that.
It's
No, I'm kidding.
yeah, it's crazy. Like,
Sounds tiny.
it's an Indian reservation.
Oh,
No,
really?
okay.
Yeah, so there's a casino up there, but it's the only Indian reservation that completely encompasses a city in the United States. Like, it's crazy. So, like, half the kids that I went to high school with were Indians.
That's awesome.
So, it's completely, it was completely different growing up than the normal around here. But I moved down. Always been an Ohio State fan. Me and my wife went to Edinburgh University. I played football. She played volleyball. We ended up meeting here, but we used to go to the flats all the time and party and drink and have a good time when we were in college.
Right.
And we always said if we had a chance to move to Cleveland, we would. And she got a job at the clinic. So in 2001, we moved down, and it was just we've loved it ever since.
Excellent.
It's been
That's
very
excellent,
fun.
man. It's really excellent. I've had a lot of fun down in the flats back in my heydays,
Yeah.
too, sir.
That seems like a long, long time.
Sometimes I was surprised how I made it home, but we won't talk about it. It's a different show.
You answered two questions in one too. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. So what made you guys want to do, like, the big part of your menu is French bread pizza? So what made you focus on French bread pizza?
So one of the things that we came into is when we bought the bar, there was a kitchen, and it was something that I knew the amount of money that I had to put into it. Immediately was not what I wanted to do. So we ripped the kitchen out, put the other side of the bar in, knowing that we would get a kitchen in at some point in time. The economics of it just didn't seem to be correct. The cost any longer of putting in a commercial kitchen is crazy. So we decided to go with the French breads because we were able to figure out a way in a partnership with a group up the street called Breads and Beyond. They do all, they're a bakery. So we partnered with them, decided to do the French breads because they would provide fresh bread to us whenever we needed, and we were able to get the pizza ovens in without like the large hood costs,
Right,
with
right.
wings and stuff like that. So we tried to change things up, be a little bit different than everyone else in this area. Made the partnership, and that's what we're trying to do. You know, no different than reaching out to you guys. It's one of these things where we're kind of a relationship-based group. All the people that we have in here, all of our regulars are great people. They're family, and it's kind of the same thing with trying to make the partnerships, and that's where we got the French Fry idea is.
Excellent.
Because we partnered.
I had one earlier. I had pepperonis. I had sausage and banana peppers on it, and it was delicious. And hats off to Maggie because she cooked it up for special.
Yeah, the
for me.
bread. I mean,
It
the
was
bread
good.
makes the pizza. The bread is
Yeah.
good. So yeah, that bakery probably makes the best bread. I need to stop there because I'm a bread guy. I know it doesn't. You can't tell.
Oh, you can tell I'm a bread guy.
I love
Yeah, he looks
I love my
like a bread guy.
carbs.
He looks like a
I
bread
got
guy.
a
He said he looks-
Me too.
Yeah, a lot of bread, bro. Cut back. Cut back on that carbs.
I got a question for you down there, Chris. Who's your current favorite Browns player right now? Who you
God,
liking
You
now?
are really putting me on the spot. You know, the Browns are like
They
this,
give me the tough questions to ask.
Yeah. You know, I love that you guys are so passionate about the Browns. And, you know, when we came back in '99, we had season tickets for up until the Haslam's album. And when they ended up taking the PSL away, I was like,
We're
like,
done.
that was like
I seen how the face scrunched. I get it.
That was like a really bad spot for me being a Browns fan. You know, it's one of these things where I grew up a Bills fan. You know, being up in Buffalo, so like the agony that happens in Buffalo and in Cleveland's the same bullshit, right?
Yeah, right.
So, you know, I really, the thing that I love about Cleveland is they're so passionate about everything that happens within the city, and that's one of the reasons why we loved it. You know, I guess I don't have a favorite Brown. I would have said, I guess, Myles Garrett, and then this offseason kind of went
Sour.
You know, so, you know, I don't know. You know, Batonio, Wyatt Teller.
Yeah, that's boom.
Offensive lineman.
There it is.
So I'll ask you. I'll
those
follow
big
this
old
question.
offensive linemen.
Who is your favorite Ohio State player?
Oh, wow.
See,
God,
those-
there's been
All
so,
of them.
Nailed it.
Yeah, no, there's been so many. You know, Justin Fields, I really like Justin Fields. You know, I like everything he stands for. You know, the kid, I don't think gets enough credit. I was hoping that the Browns would go get him this year because I thought that he hasn't got the proper chance, hasn't got the proper coaching.
Yeah.
I really like him. But the old guys, you know, I love Zeke.
Old heads, yeah.
You know, like, you know, Cardell. You know, so yeah, the whole like Buckeye mystique. That's the thing that I love. The tradition, you know, the horseshoe, like, you know, going down there and partying, having fun at the tailgates. You know, that's what I love about it.
OH.
I baby.
Let's go. Is there anything you want to tell anybody about specials you got going on tonight or in the future?
Yeah, so we got quite a few events coming up. We got some cornhole tournaments coming up. You'll see those on our Facebook page. I'm not exactly sure of the dates, but we got really kind of two types of cornhole tournaments. We got one that's open to everyone where we'll basically, even if you're a professional, it'll be a random draw. We'll get you with some schlup and make sure that we all have fun here. And then we have a couple tournaments where it's bring your own partner. So you bring your partner, we seat everyone. We're going to do that. We have a summer party coming up. I think that's in July. That's always a good time. We'll shut the parking lot down. We'll have a band out here for 3 or 4 hours. You know, specials, obviously, drink specials, you know, food specials. We'll have some food trucks. I think we're going to have a food truck and a dessert food truck. But we're busy all summer long. Jen does a good job of trying to get us in front of as many people and new people as possible. So, you know, again, this is kind of like why we enjoy doing
And hats off to her for like her finding us and us connecting, man. So
She threatened us. I'm just going to let you know that now. Like,
That's not
Yeah.
her.
it's very nice person, man.
No, yeah, I was pretty ecstatic when we connected that Saturday and got to meet. And I love the vision. I love you said how you want to partner with just not just one brand. Like you're multifaceted. Like you have a broader vision than just you're open-minded.
Yeah, no,
You know?
and I think that's like the key to at least, you know, how I like to do business is trying to get as much relationship going as possible. And, you know, even if, you know, obviously you guys are a Browns one, when you guys want to come back and celebrate the Buckeyes and come in and start
Yes.
talking
You already
about
know.
Buckeyes.
Next
You
year,
already know.
back to back, baby.
Yeah,
You
we'll
already
do
know.
that Saturday and Sunday.
You already know.
That would be back to back.
So, no, it's, you know, it's been really cool. So,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna need a pillow and a sleeping bag. I live here now. I live here now.
Yeah, my wife says the same thing.
See?
Why put a kitchen in and not just a bedroom?
Hey, we can always build up.
Yeah, that's right.
We can build up.
only go up from here.
Yeah.
Chris, man, we want to thank you for your time. We want to thank you for having
Appreciate
us
it.
here, man. We really do appreciate
Thank
it.
you for the
We
partnership
look
too.
forward to doing a lot of work with you, man. It's going to be
Beer
great.
high five.
The
five
official
already.
Tavern of the Bearded Browns podcast. Thank you, Chris and Jenny, for your partnership and the connection you have.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Don't
much.
trip over any wires. We already had one
Yeah.
malfunction tonight.
Easy does it.
Shout out to Ohio Sports Talk. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, it's a good bar. It's a nice bar. They have a couple pool tables here. Nice little bar.
Actually got pool league tonight.
Yeah,
People
they
are up here.
actually.
They got a
I
pool
should
league
have
going
asked them
right
about
now.
that bourbon. That bourbon was really good. They have a lot of local affiliates that come in and they share their bottles, different bottles of bourbon, vodka, whatever drinks you like. So it's a really, really nice tavern. So come in and check it out, man. It's fun.
Absolutely.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the draft is officially started.
Officially started. Let's get
Is
it.
Titans on the clock? Are they going to trick everybody and draft Hunter as opposed to...
This is where, I tell you right now, this is where it starts. Everybody, everything is speculation up to this point. Everybody thinks what everybody thinks everybody's going to do. But Cam Ward is supposed to be the pick for Tennessee. But
Yeah.
stranger things have happened.
Yeah, they seem to be dedicated to him. They kind of came out with saying it without saying it.
Right.
Cam Ward, they're excited about that first.
Yep.
Their
Yep.
quarterback of the
There he is,
future.
Cam Ward.
It's interesting to see the scores and his rankings amongst the draft boards.
Right.
Because he's not high. I think the highest I've seen him was like 41 ranked, but he's going to be the number 1 pick tonight. So that kind of shows you like how talented maybe more of a work type of thing he is, but we'll see. And Travis Hunter is standing up, so that makes me a little nervous.
Well, they need a quarterback,
Yeah.
2 interior offensive linemen, a wide receiver, edge rusher, and kicker. Obviously, you're going to take care of your quarterback position just like you hope we are. But
I hope so.
I mean, we have a couple guys in there. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring in our special guest of the night, the new defensive tackle of the Cleveland Browns. Let's give a round of applause to Ralph Holley, the one and only.
Come on in, Ralph. What's going on? What's happening?
That's for you, sir.
Appreciate it.
That's so you could hear us. Hopefully, we're not too loud.
Yeah. If it's too loud, it's Mike's fault.
It's definitely my fault.
Can you hear everybody?
So this is. You're good?
Is it
This-
anything too loud? Or are you okay down there?
I'm good.
All
I can
right,
hear you
that's
loud
what's
and
up.
clear.
All
All
right.
right.
So this is Ralph Holley, guys, the defensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns, the new one. He was on our show about 2-3 weeks ish ago, maybe a month.
I'd say about a month.
Yeah,
Been about a month.
he
Time flies.
listen. Find that we posted it. Find it. It's a really good interview. That's when the relationship started. It was like, not to sound too weird, love at first sight, at least for me.
No, absolutely.
Like I felt a good connection with him, and we even got to talk about gospel music for a little bit.
Yeah, man.
He probably threw him off a little bit. He's like, "Why does this white dude know about gospel music?" But either way, I was prepared for that. That was in my back pocket. So there was a connection made, and then we got to meet up at the Brownies, Here We Go Brownies event last weekend at Lake Erie Distillery. That was fun.
Excellent. Yeah.
It was good food, good time.
Yeah, excellent. I enjoyed myself. Thoroughly enjoyed myself.
So he's here.
Yep.
So if you're in the area, come in, take some pictures, he'll sign some autographs. It's going to be a fun night. His family is even here.
Yes.
Who's here?
So my dad is here, my uncle, and my little sister is here. She brought her boyfriend as well.
Excellent.
And my fraternity brother, one of my best friends, Bryce. He's wearing my OG Argo.
I saw that.
Yes.
That's how I knew it was you. I was like, that's for Ralph.
What's up?
Yeah,
That's what's up.
man.
Yeah.
So,
That's what's up.
That's
awesome.
sweet. So Ralph, the first question I have for you today
That's
is
not even one that's on the thing.
no, yeah, I see. I freelance a lot. I go off they call it bars.
That's kind of how
At
we
bars.
do. That's kind of how we do. That's how
We're
we
dropping
do.
bars in
So,
bars.
That's how we
so
do.
you've been in Cleveland for some time now.
yeah.
Have you visited any restaurants? That's not even on the list, by the way. Have you been in any restaurants?
The best one that I've been to is
Hold on. You said the best one.
well,
So far.
wing wise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a wing guy. He's a wing guy. Okay.
Yep.
But the best one wing wise I've been to is called Brew Dogs.
Oh, downtown.
Yeah, downtown.
That whole place is beautiful.
It's
right by the water.
The scenery, the view, and everything
Yep.
is nice,
Nice.
man. And Wednesdays they got Wing Wednesdays. They got dollar wings there. So I'm just they got different flavors. So I'm just going.
You
to
dropped
town.
1,000.
Man.
And 1,000 wings. He's like, just fill it up. They were shocked. They're like, he wants 1,000 buffalo wings. What's going on here?
Man.
No, yeah, Brewdog. I've been there. That's one of mine and my wife's favorite spots. It's a good location. The water seems good. They have downtown, the picture
Beautiful.
downtown. You ever been down there, Mike?
Oh yeah.
It's a brew. It's got beer down there.
Yeah.
They have
There's a lot of
actually,
beer downtown.
yeah, they have a special bourbon made from Cincinnati Distillery that's bottled for them specifically. It's really good.
Yeah.
Next question. I should say the first question because
Yeah.
that's not even on the list.
Ralph, how did you feel when you knew you were coming to the Cleveland Browns as a new defensive tackle?
You know, like I said last time, like when I first signed, man, I was ecstatic. Don't get me wrong, ecstatic. But you know, it was just a thing of like, I'm ready to go. Like I'm ready to go. Like I've been trying to, go and achieve this goal for a while. But you know, I'm ready to attack, and I'm so like grateful to the staff at Cleveland for seeing what they see in me. But you know, it's a thing of like, it was anger, man. It was anger. I was angry when I signed, man, and I was just like, this.
I mean, according to the picture, you look happy though. So
Right.
that's your angry
That's that
face.
it.
anger from a football standpoint.
yeah, right. I'm just messing with you.
Right.
Anger from a football standpoint, as far as like me just ready to get at it,
Yeah.
me ready to get after it, because this is a dream of mine, and this is something that I just been wanting to achieve.
When we had you on that first time, man, I'm like, he's saying all the right stuff. Any Browns fan wants to hear hungry, get it, got that anger, got that drive, that passion.
Yeah.
And even after we was done, man, you clocked out. We talked a little while after our show being, and it was just like, that's the guy, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what Cleveland needs. That's the attitude Cleveland needs, man. All about it.
Yeah.
Ralph, I couldn't express how much I'm looking forward to seeing you on that field, man, to be honest. You and I have had a couple conversations.
Yeah.
And we're going to hear some of the same questions that we've asked you when you're on our live, only because in case anybody missed it, I want them to know who you are, man.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So I want you to, man, I can't wait. That's all.
Yeah,
That's all I know.
I can't wait to see
It's
it
gonna be
too.
great, man.
But before we get into like the football question,
Yeah.
I have a connection with you because we have a connection with Christ,
Yes.
right? So my question to you first is, your journey to the NFL wasn't. Now, when people say typical journey, they think draft night. That's a typical journey, but that's not reality,
No.
right? That's like 1% makes it,
Yeah.
and it's even lower 1% that get drafted, right?
Yeah.
So, how was your faith with your with your faith in general and believing and the strength in that faith during that process? Because your process was a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
And was your faith steady, or at times where you were like, man, God, what are you doing with me, man? Come on, stop playing games,
Yeah. At times, I was really down, especially when the draft first happened and my name didn't get called, or and I didn't get any calls or anything like that. It was tough, but one thing, even when I didn't believe in myself, my faith was unwavering in God. And the one thing that I always remember is God has your back regardless, and God knows the plan for you. And I feel like in my road to the NFL, God was preparing me. God was preparing me. He was preparing me for the moment. You're not going to have it as easy as everybody else. So, and he was just preparing me for it. So when I get here, that I can, do the work, do it correctly, and glorify his name while I'm doing it. So, the faith in God never wavered. It was just the hard times that God put in my life to toughen me up and to make me stronger and to prepare me for this moment.
When I first got out, it was funny. The first interview we had out, and I know it was just a little crimble in the interview.
Yeah.
But when we talked about gospel music, I was like, man, this dude's got faith. Actually, I saw it on your Instagram. I was stalking you.
Yeah.
And you had 1 Timothy 4:12.
Yeah.
I said to myself, the passage of scripture that came of my mind when it came to your journey, I don't know if this is going to say anything to you, is that the steps of the righteous man is ordered by the Lord, right? So even though your journey wasn't what we see as typical like tonight, it's still the steps that are ordained by God, which is more important than what we think that can look like.
Yes, sir.
So credit to you for that. Next question, sorry.
I got it. Football is your life. Any other hobbies? We kind of touched on some of them.
Yeah.
I kind of know it, but I wanted to ask you one more time for anybody that did not see that first interview. Is there other hobbies once you're done?
Before you answer that, Sam is still mad that you finished Assassin's Creed first.
I went home, told the wife, I said, you ain't gonna believe this. She said, what? I said, I asked Ralph how Assassin's Creed's going, and he's like, I already finished it. I'm like, wow, dude. And he said, I told you I put that time in on that game.
Hey, I put that grind in on that game, bro. Hey, I was on that game like, so, bro, because it's so addicting. The game is so addicting, so it's
Right.
like I spent so much time.
I
on
thought
it.
I was doing good, and I'm like, he already beat the game. I gotta I haven't even
I
scratched
just
the surface yet.
I gotta literally step my game up.
So actually, I had a question that I guess that entangles on the same question that I have that I have for you.
Entanglements over here.
So what's next after Assassin's Creed? Where you at now? What you doing on the game? We got any new things?
There's a new Ghost of Tsushima dropping.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna start playing that, and also, other than the game, I'm big into like community service.
Absolutely.
And everything like that. Like I really do love it. Like a part of my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi fraternity, we're big on community service. So it's something that was ingrained into me, not only in college, but just I grew up seeing my parents and my uncles do it and everything like that. But I'm really big. I love like working with the Boys and Girls Club.
Nice.
I was really active before. Fun fact: before I even signed with the Browns, or even before I was with Toronto, when I was training in Atlanta, I was actually working for the Boys and Girls Club, paying for my training in Atlanta.
Wow.
While working for the Boys and Girls Club. So they have a deep place in my heart, and I was also working for them back in college. Just doing summer jobs and everything like that. So I really enjoy helping kids and just, being able to just, impact the youth.
Yes.
Because a lot of them don't see positive male role models. And, it's good to, have that and know that I've been
it's really good, and it's gratifying too. When you get to help somebody see their way. There's other ways, there's people that care, it's big.
That's
it's very
so true.
big.
That's
Very
so
big.
true.
There's a big thing actually coming up, and I talked to you guys a little bit about it. We're going to try to have a meeting next week with my brother-in-law that has a lot to do with something like that.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some big news coming here soon, and we like helping people as well. It's going to be great. To my brother Christopher, we look forward to working with him as well. You guys will hear about that more soon.
Yep.
Sweet.
But, it's going to be a good time.
Community stuff, man. We're about to hit it. Next question for you, sir.
Yeah.
What did winning a Grey Cup feel like for you?
Man, what's up?
Now, for those that don't know, Grey Cup is Canadian Football League Championship. He won it last year, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. This last season.
Last season.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that's how. Just look at the stats. I ain't gotta tell you. That's how he was. He got saw by like 10 to 12 different teams, and they started calling him, and that's how he became a Brown. But go ahead.
Yeah, man, the Grey Cup experience was nothing I've ever experienced before. It was insane. It was loud. It was crazy. The fans were amazing, man. But that atmosphere, that aura of just being in that dome, because we played in Vancouver, which was the BC Lions home field. But it was awesome, man. I loved it. When you're in that moment, it's like you're either gonna choke or you're gonna do what you have to do. And I performed great in that game. But it's just crazy. The atmosphere around the whole city is just Grey Cup. And it's the same thing like how it is for the Super Bowl. The whole city's decked out. That's the theme for the week is, the Grey Cup. So, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Really quick, who do you think Tennessee's going to pick with their first pick? You don't get as much time as they do, so hurt.
They got we all know who it is. Why are they taking 20 minutes to pick him?
It's going to be a quarterback.
Yeah,
Cam Ward.
it's going to be a quarterback. I'm assuming it's going to be Cam. Yeah.
Yeah, at least I'm hoping, because the guy I want is going to be after him. But that's just not besides the point.
Sam?
Where do we want to go, fellas? Let me ask, what are some of your personal goals going to be here when you get that opportunity to get on that field?
Other than winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Is there somebody you would like to get your mitts on? That's what I gotta ask. I gotta ask. There's gotta be somebody.
Yeah, Lamar.
Yeah.
Lamar.
I told you, this guy, I already like this guy. He's 100.
Awesome.
He's
It'll
100.
be awesome. But, as far as goals, it's just to produce, just do what I've been doing, and that's producing and be an effective for this team however I can. You know, I want to be wherever they place me. You know, whenever they play me is just, and I want to be effective.
Absolutely.
You know, effective to help this team however I can. So yeah.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Ralph is ready to eat, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen. I don't
he's,
know if you heard that, but you heard it here. He's ready to eat.
So as far as your career so far, who has been like the most inspirational, the inspiring person that you look to, whether it whether it's during times of discouragement or even times of your highs?
Um, honestly, it's probably my dad. My dad is just an amazing man, and he's like really showed me, like, even like through our life, like the ups and downs that he's faced, that I've seen him conduct himself still as a man, still held his virtues, and not crumble under pressure. You know, and seeing, and also my mom too. Like my parents, honestly, they instilled this hard body, blue collar work mentality into me. You know, because nothing in my life or in their lives was given to them. You know, everything is taken, and you have to do what you want.
Yeah, you have to grind to get
You
it.
have to grind.
Yep.
So
And that's the side I see in your game is like the grindability that I just made up a word, grindability. Write that down. Grindability
I like
that
it.
you have when it comes to getting behind that backfield. And I'm excited to see you wear that brown and orange or that
Camel or-
white jersey
Yeah.
or a different color jersey, whatever the Browns are going to throw out there this year.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see you play. And by the way, the pick is in. Cam Ward is the #1 pick. That is probably the worst kept secret in the NFL.
Who cares? We got Ralph Holley here.
Yeah. His strengths are relaxed throwing motion. Ball comes out fast, quick and easy through the wrist. It's raining literally right now.
Yeah.
Weakness.
Well, we're gonna let's all scoot down just a slight. Actually,
we
Ralph,
might-
I think you're good where you're at.
I'm gonna slide down a little bit.
A little rain cloud. Hey,
Yeah.
it's not Cleveland without the weather changing for 5 seconds. Okay.
It's not gonna last long.
Wonderful.
Overall, Ward is yeah. It's weird to see the the scores scores about the player each time.
Pick is in.
Yeah. So Cam
Cleveland
Ward.
just traded their picks to Jacksonville.
Oh snap! Jacksonville.
Were they picking 6th, I think?
They just traded the pick.
Oh, man. I think they're picking 6th. Jacksonville's picking 6th.
Yeah, Jacksonville
I'm
is
gonna help
picking
out with this
6.
tarp real quick, fellas. Give me a second.
Right? Sorry,
Well,
guys. We have an unexpected
little rain.
rain delay.
Either
Not
way-
delay, but we're going to still go.
Either way, so the Browns traded a pick to Jacksonville. I wonder what they got for it first. We can't hear it. So if you know what they got, please comment below. It's interesting. There's a lot of rumblings about this that Jacksonville might be the team to come up in draft number 2. I'm hoping to God it's not him, but I think it is. Either way, hey man, the Browns got picks. They need talent. So we'll see. I think people here are confused, as confused as I am
we
right
got
now.
a little bit of rain.
Told you, anything can
It's the
happen.
weather. It's the pick that they just traded.
Man, everything just happened in Cleveland
everything's
at
falling
once.
apart here. That cover. So we'll see what they get. Nonetheless, let's get back to Ralph Holley because I'm sad that they just traded the second pick. Either way,
What was it like to meet Bob Golick, the Cleveland legend last week? Bob
Yeah.
Golick.
He was awesome, dude. He is awesome, man. Like, he's just, I always like find, like, I love listening to the older players that played back in the day, because, like, I feel like I like to emulate my game how they play. Like, I don't play the prettiest. I play blue collar, hard nosed football, and that's how they played back in the day. And just hearing Bob's story and just listening to like his stories and his time in Cleveland and everything, it's just amazing because he's a legend. He's a Cleveland legend.
Oh, yeah.
So and it's just awesome. So something I'm aspiring to be.
so the trade details are in. Cleveland will get the first pick. They get the 5th pick this year. Their 2nd round pick, which is number 36 this year, a 4th round pick this year, and their 1st round pick next year. Browns gave up the 2nd pick this year, the 4th round pick, which is 104, and a 6th round pick, which they just got, by the way, when they traded up all those 7s for number 200 for. Obviously, we're gonna find out who they get at number 5. So obviously the Browns see a need, and they have a lot of 2nd round picks now. So that's their 3rd. They have 3 2nd round picks. So they're going to have 4 top 50 picks.
I mean, it's going to work out. But Ralph, next time you see Andrew Barry, can you tell him a little something for me?
No. Listen, I'm an Andrew Barry guy, and Andrew Barry I trust. He's smart enough to know. I'm putting my faith in him. Nonetheless, man, that's shocker. I thought for sure they'd be picking number 2.
I
But
thought they should have went for the easy layup, man, and went for that too. What they wanted to get.
I'm not even going to worry about that. But
I missed a little bit of it. I'm a roofer. Here we go with that again. And I had to fix a tarp. We all helped do a tarp over here, so I'm still roofing right now.
Ralph, is there anything you want to close with before? I mean, we're going to have you back on, but is there anything you want to tell Cleveland fans what to look forward to?
Cleveland, just know that you're getting a hard-nosed, blue-collar football player. That's what I am. I'm a football player. I'm not really like fancy with how I play. I just play, and I make plays.
You get the job done.
I get the job done. So.
I've watched a lot of your footage, man, and you definitely get the job done, man. I seen that.
Yeah, man. I like that jersey too, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Rob Holley jersey.
That's what's up.
He got it just in time. Actually, got it last week.
I got literally Saturday.
Yeah,
So at that event I had it, but I'm like, I'm not wearing this today, man. I got to wear it Thursday.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah, my wife went and got one too, man.
Yeah,
so it's really awesome. So
thank you.
excellent.
Senior.
But yeah, Ralph, we'll let you get back to spending some time with your family, man. We appreciate it.
Tell 'em thank
we
you
can have
for
you back
coming.
on a little bit if you want.
yeah, we'll play.
After the 5th pick, maybe, if they don't trade back again.
Yeah, when we do our picks.
Well, yeah.
Hey, beer's looking good, boys.
Yeah.
So is yours, man. So is yours.
Shout out to Beer Gaines.
Hey,
Appreciate
come
it,
on,
man.
Yes, sir. Y'all
Ralph
Thanks, Ralph.
Holley, ladies and gentlemen,
Ralph
look for
Holley,
him
everybody.
this year. You're going to see him in the backfield a lot, whether tackling running backs or sacking quarterbacks. Either way, he's going to be there. It is good. The pick is in. Yes, the pick is in, and Travis is smiling, and he's going to be a Jacksonville Jaguar. Travis, so I'm going to go off my knowledge of what I feel the board's going to be like, and I think the next best player on the board is Mason Graham.
You called it. You've been calling it
Yeah,
all year.
that's Angel's crystal ball right there.
Or they can trade down and get Shador at 5. That's what I see. I think it's either Mason or I think it's Shador. Either way, I am shocked because I feel like Travis was the best athlete, something that we needed. Browns fans, how do you feel about this, man?
Yeah. Let's get these. We got any questions blowing up right now?
I will figure out once we get our pick in. I'm gonna.
People are saying worse than the Watson trade. Not really. I mean, we're getting picks back. With Watson, we gave away picks, so that's a horrible comparison.
I'm reading comments right now, and people are not happy at all right now.
I mean, I get it. Like, I had my heart set on Travis too, to be honest. But I get it. There's so much needs in this team that you can't do it in 1 year. Or is Andrew Barry thinking of doing it in 1 year and getting like 50 picks?
They were calling it. They were calling this move the Godfather move. So we better see some Godfather stuff. You had to have some.
I mean, they did
things.
get a number 1 next year from Jacksonville, and if you look at the trends, they really don't have a quarterback. They might stink, so they might be in the top 5. So you might have a top 5, top 10 first-round pick next year. That gives you a move to move up for a quarterback if you like them next year.
Right.
And they did say they're not forcing any quarterback picks this year.
True, very true. They did say that. Like you said, they're probably, like we talked before, Angel, I think they're already, like you said, they're already working on stuff for next season's draft. I mean, yes, for sure. 100%.
Mike, tell me how you're feeling, man. You look sad, disappointed.
Jaguars picks in. They need 2 defensive tackles, defensive end depth, a right tackle, linebacker depth, backup quarterback. Who are you going to bring in?
And Travis Hunter.
Yeah. Like,
oh, man. Yeah, so they're getting a receiver, and they're getting a corner part-time. So we'll see. I wonder if they are going to announce him as a receiver corner like he wanted.
Barry Shuck oh, man.
What did Barry Shuck say? He called it, didn't he? Didn't he tell you that they might trade back?
I'm not happy about it. I'm not. I'll say it. I'm not. They should have went for the easy layup.
Well, let's see what happens at 5.
What would the easy layup been, though? I mean,
Travis
Hunter.
Yeah, he's the best athlete, but a lot of people,
That's the
especially
layup.
here, a lot of people didn't want him because he's too skinny.
You need weapons, so let's see what they do here.
I'm not one to
5
go
is
with
Mason
the best
Graham.
available. I'm not one to go with the best available athlete.
And I wanted
You
a duel.
You need the Browns need somebody, obviously, especially at quarterback. We think with the unknown of Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett,
Here's the pick.
I got another pick coming in.
and an ambulance after the Browns' heartbreak. Travis Hunter.
They named him cornerback. Yeah, they labeled him. Good job. Shout out to Jacksonville for trading up a first-round pick next year and getting Travis Hunter, probably the best athlete here. Now, guys, they do get a second-round pick at 36.
Yes.
So they have 2 second-round picks. They can get their quarterback in the second round. So they're looking, or they can use some picks to trade back up later to get Jackson Dart or get who else is going to be Milrow, because there's a lot of rumors that he might go even in the first round.
Right.
They have a lot of picks. They went from 10 to 6, and now they have 3 more this year. It's crazy. 2 more.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go handle. I'm gonna start getting ready for Stump Mitchell here in a second. I got to talk to Roe.
Yep, that's fine. Me and Sam.
We got
I will switch over cameras. And
Hold
get you
it
guys
down
going.
to 4.
Unless Jen wants to come and take over for me for a minute.
Yeah, sure. This is Jen. Jen is our female voice of the show. This is Sam's wife. I'm gonna get her opinion about this pick. I'm interested to see what New York does here. There's a lot of Abdul Carters. Maybe they if Abdul doesn't go number 3, he can go 5. He might be your guy.
I think they're gonna.
Well, first and foremost.
All right, Jen, tell us what you think about this pick. Did you hear what they got from it?
Yeah, and hang on, because Mike's head is huge, and I have a hard time fitting these headphones on.
You got a big head, Mike.
Hold on, so I can actually hear you guys. Okay, I don't think we should have traded.
I don't.
I really don't. We have not had such an optimal pick in the draft in forever. I think we should have been part of the Greedy Kid Club. I think we should have been super selective. I think we should have really gone out there and grabbed somebody that was going to benefit our team and not trade for anything.
Especially after like 3 years of not having any of that.
Yeah, the good news
I gotta settle down.
The good news is
Gotta watch my mouth.
now the good news is they're still in the top 5, so they'll get a top 5 player in the draft. Now, it's not who we thought it would be.
Right.
But it's who I thought it would be.
I think
Exactly.
It's who I thought it would be this whole time.
I
have a feeling.
I think you're nailing it, Angel.
I have a feeling Mason Graham. I think they're going to go, and I'm bothered by saying this because I was set on offense, and maybe they'll trick us here and get like Ashton, the running back, Genty. You know, maybe they'll get him at 5, but they, you know what that means that they do. Chubb might not be.
Yeah.
So you got to pick who you want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm interested to see what Mr. Stump Mitchell has to say. Who's going to be on next for us about this?
James Frank does say Angel's about to get his guy.
I'm about to get my guy. Listen, I'm trying to stay humble right now because I don't want to be disappointed when they get to 5 and they trade to 10. Right? Or they can still get it. I don't think if Abdul Carter doesn't get here, I mean, New England can get him, but I think Abdul's still in play if he does not get. If the Giants don't go for
it,
him.
they don't take him.
Yeah.
I'm still concerned over the fact that we have not heard any rumblings about Nick Chubb.
Yes,
Like,
I think after the
that
draft
is-
we're going to hear
Yeah.
something.
I mean, like, for me, as a huge fan of Nick, it's hard to not see him wearing the orange and brown.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really hard time with him putting on any other jersey this season.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Not that I am not going
He's
to
our
be-
Batman.
Absolutely.
That's our Batman.
Absolutely.
He might be
And
someone else's
I
Batman.
will.
He might
well,
be somebody
and you
else.
know what? Even if he does, I am still going to support Chubb. I'm going to be screaming at my TV, "Go, go, go!" I mean, I don't even care
there
if
we
it's
go.
against us. But I mean, because that's what a fan of a player does.
Yeah.
But it really is disheartening to see somebody like him who has really put forth the effort, who has come back from such monstrous injuries and keeps persevering because he wants to succeed. He wants to be here. He wants to be Cleveland bound. like indefinitely. He has
How
no.
much time?
He wants to
There's
be here.
there's no give up in Nick. There's no
No.
type of give up in
Before
Nick at
9?
all.
No, and he has that drive and that commitment to this
Cool.
team that I wish we would have seen in
All right,
some
get here.
other players that, kind of fall through the
Oh,
cracks.
okay.
And I'm not saying the name because it's like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
But
That's why I love you.
I really wish that, we would hear something a lot sooner than after the draft on him, because I think a lot of fans are going to really be brokenhearted if that man is not wearing 24 this season.
So for every fan that's disappointed that they traded back, maybe they could be won back with the signing of Nick Chubb.
Possible.
Maybe.
Very possible.
Because you got Flacco, and then you get Chubb. You're bringing back like kind of a, the vibe of that year.
Okay, but now hear me out.
The Giants pick is, and please pick Abdul Carter, because then that means my guy's going.
Yeah, buddy. Angel's waiting. Angel's looking like Christmas morning over here.
Seriously, like, could you grin any bigger? But like, my thing is like,
Pick isn't.
we did
Pick
get
isn't.
Flacco. I think that's a huge thing. He's seasoned, he's tenured, he's got the know-how, he's got the wins under his belt. I think he's an asset to us, hands down.
Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter.
Well,
Okay, next up, they're going to get an offensive lineman at 4 because they're rumored to get Campbell. They love the next offense. So Abdul Carter, he does have some injury issues currently. That's why he couldn't do the scouting. That's why actually technically he fell to 3 because he could have been the number 1.
Yep.
He probably would have went in front of Hunter according to some stats. But Abdul Carter, big, good pass rusher. The only issue is in I was going to call him Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania State and Penn State, he couldn't stop the run because he's so small. They said they struggle against the run, but his pass rush skills is amazing.
Yeah, but I think what we've seen in the last few seasons is that it's not about the size of the player. It's about that fight in the player.
It's not about the size of the dog. It's about the fight. I said it wrong.
It's that bite. Yeah. It's about that bite.
You're fired.
I'm fired. I'm going home.
I just.
Jen, you're up. We're up.
No, like, for real. I feel like that it's not about the size of our players on the field. Some of these smaller guys, these smaller running backs, these smaller tight ends, they are fitting through these double team tacklers, and they're gaining that yardage. I think they've got better speed. They're lower to the ground. I think they just have a better push.
Center of gravity?
Yes. They have a better push, a better drive, and I think they have that underdog mentality to where they want to excel and do far better than some of their, team members who might be a little bigger and a little wider.
Who did you want them to draft? Yeah. Who did you want them to draft at 2? Did you want Travis?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Who did you want at 2? Abdul?
I was actually, I didn't honestly care at 2 because I feel like, as long as, no offense everybody out there, so don't shoot the messenger, I'm just glad it wasn't Shador Sanders.
It might be, because he might be coming up at 5.
Well, yeah, but
those are the 2 options.
But we didn't take him at 2.
True.
So I have some issues with Shador, some of his performance. I personally don't care for the mentality of him. I think he's very juvenile in his presence.
I think I remember you saying something about Odell vibes.
Yeah. I got OBJ vibes from Shador. I hate to say it. It's just, that's the vibe I got from him, his personality. I didn't really care for him in watching some of his highlight reels. They didn't really feel like highlights. They just felt like regular reels. Like, I'm just watching somebody play. They just didn't have that drive or that ambition.
Did you see like a star mentality?
No, I really didn't. I mean, he's got the star name. He's Sanders. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And his dad was a phenomenal player. I was a huge fan of his dad growing up. But there's just something about Shador that's not sitting right with me. I hate to say it. It's like I said, don't shoot the messenger, you guys.
There's a couple things I like about Shador. I think he can play well in Kevin's system, but I do think his ceiling is his ceiling currently. I don't think he can be better than what he is.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he's plateaued.
Yeah.
Like there's no up for him.
But you
not
do
even
like
in the
Milrow.
I do like Milrow.
Because his ceiling is
I feel that
Here.
Milroe has a lot of
Yeah,
potential. He
I agree.
has a hell of an arm. He is tall, which is something that our last few QBs have kind of not had. He also doesn't look like he would break easily.
We always said AFC North, you need a bigger guy.
Yes. And Milroe does not look like if he took a hit, he's going to break.
Right.
I know he's had some injuries in the past.
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
But he is a definite solid.
That's why I always got
person.
worried when I watched DTR try to.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was like,
he's
man,
my
if he,
skinny.
if he keeps running out of that
Yeah.
pocket,
He's my
he's gonna
size and
he's gonna
height,
get
yeah.
dismantled.
Like when you saw Watt going for DTR, you were just kind of like, like, don't hurt him, you know. I mean, that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like Milroe. I think he's a solid pick, even though he's a little lower down the pipeline here. But I feel like he is that good diamond in the rough. I think he's moldable. I think he's trainable. I think he's coachable. And
Definitely, like you're saying, a lot of development with him. You
Yes.
give him the proper people around him. He can.
And he has a solid mentality that he doesn't feel like he doesn't need to learn anymore in the industry, that he's learned everything he's going to learn. He has that I'm here to do better mentality and I want to be successful. And I think under the tutelage of somebody like Flacco, he has a lot of room to grow.
Yeah. Flacco said today, he's not in the business. Well, he didn't say it, but he's like, I think you being in the quarterback room is mentoring enough because we all are learning the same thing. You're going to hear what I say and what reads I get, even though it's not directly. I'm not saying it to you directly. I'm still saying it, and the guy hears me.
That's what. Yeah. When they said Flacco came back, that was my first thought. I said, we got the right guy in there to help guys out.
He's a
But
leader.
I think there's still going to be a quarterback battle. He's just.
Well, I still
Yeah.
think there
I
is
think
going to
there's
be
still-
something, yeah.
If he's killing it in training camp, you go with who's killing it. That's just me.
Yeah, I think that killing it is going to be Kenny Pickett's, but that's just my, and I can't wait to
That's what
after
I like.
the draft.
That's what I like.
I can't wait till after the draft because there's so much of stuff that I need to say that I'm holding back. But I think even Flacco might start off, and then I think Kenny Pickett's going to slide on in there because I think they want to see what Kenny Pickett has without telling you a lot.
Well, I think they want to see what both have because
Yeah.
if you think about it, when Flacco was playing last season, he was a little hit or miss. He was not as successful as he was with us the year before. So I think in a way, it's kind of like Flacco still has a little bit of something to prove.
We know he could play with Kevin's system.
Yes,
we do
absolutely. He knows the way that mentality works of the organization, and he knows what's expected. He knows how to work it. He knows how to receive it, and I think that's what made him so successful and brought us into the playoffs, 2 years ago. And that's what we need. And quite honestly, I said it once and I'll say it again, Stump called it.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he literally said on the show that if you want to see Cleveland be happy and you want to see them rally and you want to see them be supportive in this team and the organization again, bring back Joe Flacco.
He did call
And
it.
sure enough, what did
They
we
did.
do? We brought back Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I was talking to Roe, his agent, about that today before the show, and he called it.
Yep.
I was like, it's funny because as soon as he called it, I had that snippet saved, and I was able to share it. And it's pretty crazy. He's high on Scatterboo too, so we'll see what they do there.
Another guy I really like.
Yeah,
man.
Scatterboo has a 4th round grade, so I don't know if he's going to come out any.
He's not averaging very high with the
Yeah.
grade. He was initially in my first mock pick. And my mock pick was not the best, I will admit it. I went with more of who I personally liked versus professionally, I guess is the way to say it, because it was just from things that I've observed and highlight reels and doing my own little bit of homework.
Yeah, you watched.
But
Yeah, and he does have something that is attractive to him as a player. Like you want to see somebody that's hard nosed that plays tough. Is he? Oh, Stump Mitchell is.
What?
My producer just said Stump Mitchell is live
Nuh-uh.
with us. I can't see Stump right now, but I believe you. How
I
you doing,
can.
Stump?
How you guys doing? You
Oh
can't
wow,
see me?
I hear you.
Hi.
I can now. I'm blind, so don't worry about my thing.
I can hear you. All I need to do is hear you.
Mason
Stump.
Graham.
What's happening?
Is that Mason
Oh,
Graham?
nothing much. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing, Coach?
Wonderful. I don't mind me, sir. I am currently fangirling right now because I am a huge fan of yours.
She
I
is.
have adored you ever
Will
since
Campbell.
your career with the Browns, and I have never stopped. And I am honored to be on here with you, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Stump, we're just gonna get into it, man. You did the prophecy thing. I was at the. Hello, by the way, my name is Angel. I didn't get to meet you the first time you was on, but I watched you at Disney while my girls were watching Little Mermaid. I had my
Okay.
earpiece. I had my earpiece in my ear, trying to hide it from my wife, but she caught me. I got in trouble, but I was like, I have to be dedicated to this interview. My first thing I want to get out the way is you got it right when you said the Browns had to get Flacco. When that news broke, how did you feel?
I felt great because I love the fans there in Cleveland and the Browns fans all over the world. And I also like the players that are there. Guys work extremely hard, the ones that are still there when I was there. And I know it made David and Joko feel great. It probably made Amari Cooper wish he was back in Cleveland.
Right?
So a lot of things was in play. I know Joe Batonio felt great. Those guys that played while Joe was there. He's a big guy. He can break tackles. You want to be your best, but you don't have to be with Joe.
Right.
Second question for me. Do you think Flacco's going to start?
Absolutely.
Okay. You think he's going to
That's
start?
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
the
on-
only reason. That's the only reason Joe came back. Joe doesn't care what people think about him. I mean, he's a guy you walk in. He's got that stoic look on his face. He's all about business. He's been there. He wants to get back there. The fire burns in him. If it
Yeah.
didn't burn him, he would sit at home.
Right.
If he didn't want to play football, if he didn't think he could play football, Joe wouldn't do that to himself. He's not that type of person.
Yep. That's,
All right, well,
that's what I said.
I have this theory that Kenny Pickett will start, but I'm gonna submit to you because you're the expert, because you've been in the locker room, you know Flacco. I'll be interested to see if they, because I feel like they gave up something for Kenny Pickett, and I think they're more invested in him. But I'm just thinking it as a fan perspective, not as you who
They need
actually
to
been in
win.
it.
They need to win right now. I mean,
You don't think they
put
can
the
win right
two-
now with Kenny Pickett?
No. You
My man.
you put the resumes together.
He shut it down.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Angel.
That was
I
quick.
mean, you put the resumes together, and it's not even close. I
All
mean,
right,
you
so
have to,
okay.
go ahead.
No, we're gonna get off the notes here because I'm gonna die on this hill. Do you think Kenny Pickett can be good in the system for Kevin? Do you think Pittsburgh developed him well? I think he got the short end of the stick there.
Well, first of all, Kevin don't need to worry about trying to fit something into these players. Okay.
Okay.
Kevin need to call the game that he calls and allow these players to play. Joe Flacco is the guy. Kevin has
Okay.
already called plays for him. He know what he has. Let's not mess around with this thing. The players' careers every year they play is shortening.
Yeah.
You got Joe, you got White, you got those guys that have been there. They're ready to win right now. So let's go with Joe, and he'll show you what he can do. I mean, Joe ignites the players. He ignites the players. Coaches
Yeah, I
can't do
agree
that.
with that.
Right.
Coaches can't do that. They can try, but they
No.
can't do that. They see a guy like Joe bringing it every day. Shit. It's a no
All right,
brainer.
I'm
That's what
taking over the
saying.
interview. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
You
you're
guys, your guys' turn. Stump, thank you for bringing me back to reality because I thought I was right, but then you just humbled me. I appreciate it. And
But
by
you
the
know
way,
what?
go ahead.
Kenny is going to learn more from Joe than he has from any offensive coordinator or anybody else.
Absolutely.
He's going to
Absolutely.
watch how he can work. I'm not saying Kenny won't be able to come in and be a player for them in the future, but right now Joe is the guy, and Kenny
Okay.
will learn more from Joe because Joe is going to be successful. He'll learn more, and he could be a long-term fix for him.
Stump, before you get into the question, right next to me is the Browns' new defensive tackle, Ralph Holley. He's here at our draft show. They just, they signed him to 2-year deal, right? Um, but I just want him to introduce you guys. You see
Yep.
Stump, he's in my camera right there.
Stunk, pleasure to meet you.
Hey, my pleasure to meet you. I mean, I think you definitely join a defense that's got some starters. I'm just some star players, and I'm sure you're going to be one of them. I'm just sorry they didn't take Travis Hunter.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get into that. That's the next question.
Yeah.
See, they
You
just
got
picked up
it.
Mason Graham. So I'm on the same path as you. I'm a little disappointed that they didn't get Travis Hunter. You tell us why you wanted Travis.
Why I wanted Travis?
Yep.
Because because I'm looking at the past. I love Denzel, but I know I'm not going to have him the entire. Denzel is probably going to miss 3 to 5 games.
Mm,
I mean, you guys look at history. It is what it is. You can't deny history.
that's true.
All you
Right.
want to, you cannot deny history. I love Denzel. He works his ass off.
Mm.
He's there in January. Whenever the season is over, Denzel is in that building about 2 weeks after. That's just who he's always been. But unfortunately, he's been hurt. He's gonna miss 4 to 5 games. So now you got Travis, and you got Travis on the offensive side of the ball. Jerry Judy just had a hell of a year. Now you got
Yeah.
Travis with speed. You can only double one of them.
Yeah.
And you got David and Joko. I mean, you get Travis
Yeah, I
because
agree with that.
he's a defensive guy and he's an offensive guy. You get 2 for the price of 1,
Yeah.
and they
Very
didn't do
true.
it.
They did not. And Coach, I'm Sam, by the way. I'm the other Bearded Browns on here. The day we did have you on the show, I got to miss out because I had a technical difficulty and I was crying in my bedroom. I'm like, I had an opportunity and it just didn't work out. So, Coach, I just want to say hi. I've always been a big fan. I got a question for you. It's a guy that I like. It's a guy that I like. I'm kind of wondering. Cameron Scatterboo, what
Oh
round
my
would you
God.
try to grab him up? What round you
Oh.
want to try to grab some Cameron Scatterboo up? I
I
call
love-
him, he's the fire hydrant with legs, man. That's just the guy I like.
I love some Scatterboo. Scatterboo, he break tackles, he can catch the ball, and he can also pass the ball. And I'm sure if they want it, well, he will be an asset on special teams as well. He just has that attitude. I love Scatterboo.
Yeah, I think he would be really like, even if he's not a 3-down back, definitely down that goal line. He's going to plug it in there. He's got that capability. I watch his runs. His balance is great. He does not give up, and you better bring a gun up. You better bring 2-3 guys, and you better pack a lunch. Is what I tell everybody if you're going to try to tackle Cameron, Coach.
Well, you make that box even lighter if you got David and Joko, Jerry Judy, Travis Henry.
yeah.
You got those guys on the field at the same time, and another receiver, whoever that may be. You got those guys on the field at the same time. Now that box is lighter for Jerome, and if they had Scatterboo or if they get Nick, it's a lighter running box.
Yes,
But
most definitely.
I think not getting Travis was a mistake, and now you give him to a AFC opponent
Yeah.
in Jacksonville. You make
Right.
Trevor Lawrence a better quarterback now.
hmm
You know,
Now we'll have to watch because, like you said, Coach, that's probably going to end up biting us. That's going to end up with him over there. We'll see how they can, like you said, with him and Lawrence. We'll see what they can do. I was more on an Abdul for my pick, but I was ready for a Travis Hunter too. So
well, you know what? The thing the Browns did. The thing the Browns did. First of all, they signed Miles, but they didn't. Miles won that deal. They didn't have to sign Miles
Mhm.
because he's under contract. Okay, and you also there's Trey Hendrickson with the Bengals. Okay, Trey has had 17 and a half sacks the last 2 years. Okay, so there was a lot of things the Browns could have waited on for this draft. They could have gotten, perhaps if somebody really wanted Miles, they could have seen what they wanted to give up tonight.
Yep.
And Trey Hendrickson in the same division, playing the same opponents for the most part. He's averaged 17 and a half sacks. So this guy knows the division, he knows all the opponents, and he works his behind off.
Yeah,
Yep.
the numbers are there. All you got to do is look at the numbers. They're right there for it.
Ashton Gentry went to the Las Vegas Raiders. What do you think about that fit?
I think it's good. You know, they need a lot of things. It's how you want to fix it. Pete Carroll, now he feels like he's got a great runner. He's going to run the ball. There's no question about that. So I think it's a good move.
He's definitely got the skill, and he is definitely built to take some hits. I hate to say it, not like that, but like in a good way. And I also do want to say is that you called out Flacco in the beginning when you were first on the show, and your second call out was for Scadaboo. And I'll tell you what, sir, if we do pick Cameron Scadaboo in the draft, I would like to get some lottery numbers from you because
Absolutely.
you literally hit the nail on the head for exactly what this team needs, and we need that build up. Flacco has it. I think Scadaboo has a lot of room to grow, and he's had an amazing career. I mean, he's had like over 4,000 yards since high school, and you don't get that by being like a halfway participant. So I'm super excited to see who he goes to. I'm kind of really hoping that it's us. And I have to say, I definitely appreciated all of your insight on both of them when you were first on the show, because I was literally sitting there watching, like, just staring, listening to all of your wisdom and knowledge that you were just sharing with us. And that is so awesome of you to do, and it's very appreciated.
I was telling
Well,
everybody, Coach. I said Stump got the crystal ball out. He got his crystal ball, and it's working right now, Coach.
Yeah,
no,
I
it's just it's just being around both as a player and as a coach for 22 years in the league. Players drive players. When
mm,
you can when players can drive players, you got something special. And
Yeah.
Joe was able to drive the players. He was able to energize the coaches, and he ignited the fans.
Yes,
And
he
for
did.
him not to be offered a contract to come back when most of the offensive linemen were going to be returning with injuries, there was no way they were going to be able to be full go the first game of the season, blocking new schemes, run
Right.
game and passing game.
Yeah, I
yeah.
said that in the beginning. I said that last year that O line was already coming in banged up. They were banged up through training camp, and so that a lot of that was showing in the beginning of last season, and those were
Yeah.
some of the problems. And I knew that was going to end up being a problem. But
Well, it was a problem because they didn't have any reps in a new system, you
right,
know,
right.
and unfortunately, a couple coaches were used as scapegoats because it didn't work. Well,
Mm,
you should have known before it even happened it wasn't going to work. You
Mm.
already had uh, coaches under contract. Keep them for a year. If it don't work, then let them go. You don't have to pay them when they're not working for the Browns.
Right.
yeah, they have a history of doing that too, which is harsh. Hopefully, that culture is starting to change. My next question is: then they obviously got Mason Graham, defensive lineman, which I'm kind of confused on that because I feel like they're pretty good on that, but I guess they're looking for to bolster that middle area for the run game. But the next pick is 33. They have 33, 36, and 67 in the second round. Who do you think they're going to target with that 33rd pick? Who do they need to target, I should say?
Uh, I would
Do you
say
think?
they need to target an offensive lineman.
Mm,
I mean, those guys are banged up for the most part, or have been banged up. Your tackles, you got some age with Wyatt and Joe. So eventually, they're gonna have to protect and give Joe an opportunity to make some things happen. Joe is strong; he's gonna break some tackles, but he still needs a little bit of time. And
mm,
if you don't have that wide receiver, you need somebody else to go with Jerry. You don't need them to be able to double him all the time. You got to have that number two receiver other than David and whatever tight end. They need that's why Travis would have fit perfect. I mean,
Hmm.
you let this guy play offensively. He don't have to be on there out there every play. You have some plays for him, but now you have him out there defensively. Okay, you got Miles. You could have gotten another defensive lineman later on in the
Yeah.
draft, but now you got Denzel, you got AJ, you got Travis at corner. I mean, you just beefed up the offense and the defense with one player.
Yeah, it's confusing. I agree because this is a deep, deep defensive tackle draft. I mean, they could have got Williams from Ohio State there in the second round. So for them to pass up on Hunter, they must really, really love Graham. Which, to me, I don't know. It was kind of threw me off a little bit. I agree with you on that. You guys, any more questions for Mr. Stump?
I would like to know how you are enjoying your time as a Wolves coach.
I'm enjoying it. You know, getting an opportunity to work with the offense in the passing game as well as the run game. So
Mm.
it's definitely a pleasure. Getting the opportunity to have some input is always a joy for a coach, and being able to help some of these young running backs is a pleasure.
Well, you definitely have a lot of knowledge and wisdom and guidance to give these young up and comers because your tenure alone is just phenomenal, and I think any player who comes into contact with you just leaves better educated with more knowledge and more skill under their jersey. I think
Well,
they just absorb that from you because that's the presence that you carry about yourself with all of these players. And any player who's being guided by you is going to succeed. That's my personal opinion, hands down. I think you are one of the best running back coaches that the industry has seen. Um, and when everything transpired with Cleveland, I was pretty angry. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
but I will admit you probably are not missing the Cleveland winters
Right.
and are enjoying the nice weather down there.
well, I would say I appreciated every running back that I had an opportunity to coach with. I mean, I've coached some great running backs. All of those guys had skills, and there was quite a few that you pick up what they don't do well right away. Okay, because all of them they're at the professional level. They all have great talent. So I've coached some guys that had great talent. You know, some people are talking about Jerome Ford and they want to replace him and all that. Hell, Jerome averaged over 5 yards a
Yep.
carry this past
Yeah.
year. You
Hmm.
know, I don't know why you want to say he's not the guy. And the only reason he didn't get 1,000 yards, he had 800 and some yards my last year there. The only reason he didn't get 1,000 yards is because hell, we started rotating three people in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep. You sure did.
we prevented him from getting 1,000 yards. You trying to get, three guys probably 15 carries because Kevin didn't run the ball a whole hell of a lot. I mean,
So,
Right.
Nick
so,
Right.
so from a
Nick
fan,
rarely had 20 carries when he was playing. So, you know,
do,
it was difficult for me with Jerome because we had about 4 games left with the opportunity for him to get 1,000 yards, but he
mm,
couldn't do it. And now he came back this year and he had a hell of a season. No, he didn't get as many yards, but he didn't have as many carries. And it was rotating him in again with a 3-man rotation. So I just appreciate the fact that he works his behind off. And he had a younger, energetic guy in Deuce. Deuce is a hell of a running back coach. I
Yeah.
mean, he's demanding. He knows the game. He knows everything. He played the game. And those guys have the utmost respect for him. And so do I.
do you think fans, from a fan perspective, the reason why they don't like Ford so much, even though you're correct, he averaged just like Chubb 5 yards a carry, is because he's not because Nick is so beloved and it's hard to kind of move on, not move on because we don't know what's going to happen here after the draft. Maybe they sign him, but it's hard to fall in love with somebody again after you love somebody so lovable like Chubb.
Well, the fans don't really get a chance to see enough of Jerome.
Hmm.
I mean, he's constantly being pulled in and out of a game. With me,
Yeah.
my thing with Jerome was to try to keep him upbeat because he's a guy that worked extremely hard. I mean, he had a high ankle sprain. He got a high ankle sprain in one game, and they were saying usually with those things you're going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Heck, Jerome said, Coach Mitchell, I'm gonna play. I mean, he didn't practice on Wednesday or Thursday. He came out and ran a little bit on that Friday, and he was teeing it up for us on that Sunday. I mean, the guy just loves to play. He works extremely hard, and he's a winner.
I have to agree. I think it was really hard as a fan last season to watch them rotate in because it's like when you see Ford have a great play and get like 8 yards out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden they're pulling him out, and it's like, why would you pull him out after one run when he just did so awesome? And you know he's fired up and he's got that drive and he wants to go. Like I get, the guys got tired and they needed that little breather in between and stuff, but I really think that they could have, and he was probably upset too, but like as a fan, it's like let him go one more play. That's all we need. Like he could have been that guy to seal that last like 2 yards or half a yard that we needed in order to get a first down. And I think he's got that drive. He's motivated.
Yeah, I think he is as well. But uh, I text Jerome. I don't really call him. I text him and I tell him to hang in there. Control what you can
Have hope
control.
no more.
Don't
Yeah.
get pissed off. Don't get upset. Just get productive. And he was
Right.
more productive this past year when you're talking about an average than he was at any other year.
And
And
he
he,
did
he
it without
extremely
a yeah, he did it
go,
without a
go,
consistent quarterback again. Like,
Exactly.
not only that, with the offensive line that wasn't that
hmm
great.
good
I
point.
mean,
Yeah.
people look at Nick. Nick only averaged 3.3 yards or whatever the case may be, but that doesn't matter to me because uh, Nick didn't really have a chance to get going. I
No,
saw
he
his
didn't.
first touchdown that he scored, and it was only a 2 yard touchdown run, but he had to make several different cuts and plants in order to make that. So that proved to me that Nick is back. And that
Yes.
foot injury that he had, I don't think it was that severe. Where he can't come back and be productive, but he's got to have an opportunity. I mean, you take
Dude,
a look at Barkley.
Agreed.
His Barkley's last year in New York, they were saying the same thing about him. But
yeah.
then he goes to Philadelphia. They got a great offensive line. Half the time, he's not getting touched until he's 10 or 15 yards downfield.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. Um,
Yeah.
Stump, we thank you for coming on, speaking your wisdom like always. Again, follow the Stump podcast. Stump Talks podcast is on Facebook, all the
Yes.
platforms. It's great to listen to. He's knowledgeable. He tells it like it is. As you can see, he'll tell you the truth like it is, and it's a great to hear and refreshing actually.
It
He
is. It
he
is.
he predicted Flacco, and we'll see if Scatterboo comes to Cleveland, so fans can love him. Last question: do you think Nick Chubb signs back as a Cleveland Brown?
Uh, I
I'm
I
keeping
hope
my fingers
so
crossed.
with Joe because I think the offensive line is going to be better. But the
Yep.
key to the Browns' success is Kevin Stefanski calling the game that he used to call in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the games that he called for Case Keenum, the games that he called for Kirk Cousins when he was in Minnesota. That's what Kevin need to do. He don't need to try to learn these players. He need to go back to the coach that he was before.
So that's a heavy run. Philadelphia, by the way, won the Super Bowl, and their run to pass ratio was 60-40. And I think Kevin needs to get back to that, where it's 60 run, 40% pass. Do you think that's a recipe that Kevin can kind of bask his, continue his winning ways here in Cleveland?
Absolutely, that's a recipe that made him successful in Minnesota
Yep.
and also made him successful in Cleveland. But
All
he
right.
don't need to try to match wits with these quarterbacks. They can do what he knows best.
So if he does 60% run and 40% pass with Kenny Pickett, can he win? I'm just joking.
Uh,
Flacco.
probably
Flacco.
so, probably so. But I know it's not about Kenny. I mean,
I know, I'm joking.
those guys have played against Kenny, so
True.
they got a little respect for him, but they don't have as much respect for Kenny as they do for Joe.
That's true. Thank you, Coach, again for coming on. I'll leave you alone.
Thank you, Stump.
Appreciate it.
Stump, I just had to come on and say hi, man. I know I've been texting you the last couple times, but I had to come on and say hi. I've been we're dealing with some rain right now. We're outside, so I'm sorry, but we'll make it up. We'll have you back on, dude. I really do appreciate you coming on and helping us out again tonight.
Appreciate you all.
We will
Thank you,
talk to you
Stump.
soon,
Thank
Stump.
you so much, Stump. It was
Go
a great
Browns.
meeting with you.
Go
and
Browns.
Stump.
Always
Browns.
go Browns, Coach. Always go
Yes.
Browns. Thank you, sir.
That's right. All right. Good night.
Have a
Good
great
night,
night.
sir.
Coach Stump Mitchell, guys, he is great to talk to. I'm actually excited I got to talk to him because last time, like I said, I was on
I'm
vacation.
still fangirling.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
It is
I
horrid.
It was supposed to be 0% chance of rain.
I blamed them
And we're
trading
trying
down.
to- yeah.
I blamed them from trading down.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cleveland, for
Yeah.
ruining the weather, Browns.
Yeah. Way to go.
Oh,
Way to
that's-
go, AB.
Did
My
we,
notes are all over the place. Man, we're
Way
having
to go, AB.
a great day.
did we get a hold of Dustin?
So yeah, Mason Graham. I haven't been able to talk. I had to walk away.
Would
And,
you like your spot back?
no, you can keep that spot. Ralph Holley's dad's gonna come on.
Oh,
Okay,
oh, forget
He
it.
is so
I was about to text somebody, but I'm
nice.
about to get Ralph Holly's
sorry.
dad. Right, that's good.
He is
So I'm gonna-
so nice.
I'm gonna go grab him. Jen, you can feel free to stay on. I'm gonna watch
Protect
all
the
of our
equipment.
equipment.
So,
And I'm gonna go grab Ralph Holley's
behind
dad.
the scenes here, it is raining, and they're doing here at JB Tavern.
They are
They're
doing-
doing the amazing job to keep. I have not been touched with rain, by the way.
Well, you're lucky.
I'm
I've had a
just
few
saying.
drops here and there.
It's the favor
My
of the Lord.
my notepad over there got raindrops on it, and I literally
you
wrote
got-
rain on it and was
Oh.
like this to you guys.
Oh,
like
I wasn't even paying
when the
attention.
first few raindrops hit, and
I heard a lot of rain, but I didn't see any rain.
You might have saw me in the background doing my best job. to
Roofing
help-
job.
To
Yes,
help
he's a
get this
roofer.
down. So.
As a roofer, that's
Hey, you
that
know
makes
what?
do
We
well.
weren't even going to bring it up on the show,
Yeah.
but hey, you got to
It's
do what you got to
mentioned.
do.
It's mentioned at least once
Yeah.
that Sam is a roofer on the show.
sometimes twice.
Sometimes twice. Nonetheless, Stump Mitchell spoke, and Stump just said, "Let's go" in the chat. Thanks, Stump.
Thank you, Stump. Thanks, Coach, again.
Yes, James said, Angel, I think Barry was listening to you. I think he was. I've had a feeling that Mason Graham was their guy. I think they wanted Travis, but they probably wanted Travis, but I think that offer, they got a number 1 next year. That could be a top 10 pick. That offer was too hard for them to pass. I agree. Using 33 to trade back into the first round, you can't. Yeah, Mark, I agree with that. They can trade back up for Jalen Milroe. I think that's who they're targeting.
That is he's definitely on the board still.
Yeah,
for sure.
that was really cool to talk to Stump. McMillan just got picked up by the Panthers, and ladies and gentlemen, right next to me, I got the bad seat because first it was Ralph Holley.
How is
Better
this- wait a minute, how is
look
this
no
a bad
because
seat?
because he's better looking than me, and now you're gonna give me the guy that made him look better than me. So he's double better than me. That's not fair. I thought I was gonna have the cool seat. Now I'm like, man, dude. First of all, now I look small. Now I look. My wife is gonna be like, dude, you look ugly on camera tonight. I was like, and it's the surrounding.
You know what?
Oh man.
How you doing, sir?
Deal
All
with
is well.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
What,
you for having me.
I didn't get to get your name. I'm sorry.
Ralph Senior.
Oh,
Ralph Senior.
because he's a junior, dude.
Yes.
Ralph Senior.
You didn't put 2 and 2 together?
He should have been like, dude, he is Ralph Holley Jr. Oh, that makes sense.
Hello again, Mr. Holley.
Hey, how are you?
How
Thank you so
Good.
much.
How are you doing, sir?
Thank you guys. I love you guys' show. I follow you guys. Thank you so much. We really
Nice.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
We're
Very
getting
much
we're getting quite
appreciated.
far
We're
away.
glad you could make it.
So,
you.
Ralph said, he goes, my dad's on his way up here, and I know parking's limited. I said, you let me know when Pops is getting close.
We'll make one
I
for
said, my parking spot, I go over there. Pops parks over
Thank
here.
you so
Yeah.
much.
We
I
would've-
tell you.
Yeah,
He would have
absolutely.
parked you on the roof
I appreciate it.
because he's
I
a roofer.
appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, I
No.
don't know about this roof. I don't think we can
Yeah,
really
no.
agree
Yeah.
with that.
So, your son, has he always been into football from a young age?
No, he has
No?
not.
Really? Okay.
He has an interesting journey to football. When he was young, and I was the vice president of a kids football league, Ralph could not play because he was overweight.
Too big.
So
He just told anything.
he was a kind of big kid, and I used to, and when he would run, they had to run the laps around the field, and he'd be the last one running every day, and I couldn't lead. And he would be running and just crying and crying and crying. Dad, do I have to do? You keep running, keep running, because one of the philosophies that we taught the kids early was when you start something, you have to finish it.
Right.
That's
You
good.
you have to grind it out. You have to finish it regardless. It doesn't last always. Everything comes to an end.
Amen.
And he took that, and so then he got out of football and he got into soccer.
Oh, you didn't tell us that.
He
We
started.
didn't hear the soccer story.
He's like, I didn't bring that up. Thanks, Dad.
He started playing soccer, and he was doing so well. He was being recruited in soccer.
Wow.
Because of
That's
developing
awesome.
footwork. And then we found out probably like a summer later when he went to a camp with a Dominican Sue that
Ooh.
soccer was his first sport, not football.
Oh, Sue,
And
yeah.
that developed his footwork.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually
So,
that's really good too.
He
because-
left. He played soccer for about 2
Soccer is
years,
awesome.
and when he came back and finally went into high school to play, his footwork was supreme. And the varsity coach from his high school team immediately tried to take him from a freshman to a varsity player.
Holy cow.
And his mom said, well, no, we just want him to play because he's been playing soccer to get the love of the game. And he did so well there. His next year, he was immediately bounced to the varsity team. And from there, they won 3 back-to-back state champions.
All because of him.
Wow.
See, all because of Ralph, they won 3
It
championships.
was
And
an
then he goes to the CFL and wins another championship.
Exactly.
Guys, I'm seeing a sign here. He's on the
see a
Browns
pattern.
Super Bowl.
Yes.
It's destiny,
There
dog.
is a pattern. There is a pattern. See, I didn't know about the soccer thing.
So
Yeah.
that footwork, I mean, when you were talking, I'm listening to you, sir. I was thinking like with the footwork, I always thought like Tony Dorsett. Tony Dorsett, he did like ballet
Right.
to keep that footwork right.
And
now
the flexibility.
and now to hear that, that's
Yeah.
that's where it came in. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
We
That's
were
awesome.
we were always about, develop the total body. So play more than one sport to develop the total body.
Right.
And once you find out what you love, that's when you focus on it. So around about his 10th grade year, he got it, and he's like, this is it. I don't need to play soccer. I don't need to play soccer. I don't need to run track. He was playing basketball too. He said, I don't need to do any of that, but play this. And he focused, and he went from there.
That's amazing. Is there anything? Was he? So you say he was a bigger boy. Mm-hmm. So was it hard to keep food in the house?
No, the question is it hard?
Is it hard? I'm sorry. Is it hard?
You had to go there.
No, that's one of the things about being around that level of an athlete is they're serious about what they eat.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
serious how they eat
Yep.
because their body is their weapon. And once they get that, they click on, they do what's necessary for it.
And he did tell us he has
They're
a
about-
very, very strict regime that he follows on a daily basis.
He does.
Just chicken
and
wings.
That's admirable because that's hard to do. I mean, I'm a carbaholic.
Yeah.
I mean, you put me in front of bread and pasta, it's game over.
Yeah.
But on a salad, on the other hand, I'm just kind of like, But, I can relate to Ralph and his track career because that was me. I was the last one. I was begging to not, have to go to gym class every day and
Yeah.
have to run the laps. I hated it. I did play soccer for a while. I was a goalie. And I didn't want to play one game because it was cold and it was raining, and I lost my shoes in the
Yeah.
mud in the goal box. And after that, it ventured out to other things. So you do have to kind of keep yourself out there and be versatile with everything. And I was, the soccer thing does explain watching some of Ralph's highlight reels and his footwork because he can move like nobody I've seen. He's not a tiny guy,
Right.
but he's
Right.
not a huge guy.
He's stout.
Right.
But he has that finesse, and now that explains it. Because with soccer, you got to be able to shift on a dime.
Sure.
And that's what I was watching him do in some of his training videos. I was like, well, now that just totally makes sense to me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I told Ralph when we had him on the interview the first time, when I watched some of his film, I told him, I said, man, I was seeing shades of Dwight Freeney,
Yeah.
and just that, and always, well, are you big enough or you're not? It's like, watch me, and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
and his drive and his passion and listening to him talk like that, that's just amazing. That once we were talking with him, I'm like, that's the Cleveland, that's the Browns attitude. He's
Absolutely.
got
Yeah.
all the right things,
Yeah.
And he said
that's
all the
good.
right things because when he was first on with us too, I'm listening and I'm watching and I'm like, man, that's what we need. I'm like, I'm liking this guy more and more now.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
you know, everything he was about and the way he carried himself and presented himself, you know, to the fans watching and stuff. It was just like that is absolutely what this team has been craving for. And I cannot wait to see him on the field and deliver everything that he's talked about, being about, and watch him just like, you know, put that fire on and that fight in and just go out there and crush it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be screaming so loud at this TV this year. I'm not going to have a voice, which he's probably going to be very thankful for. And I can't wait. I like literally when I heard he was coming out here and doing this, I was so excited to meet him. And I think I hit purchase on my jersey about 5 minutes before Mike over there, because we were talking about
They were already
it.
getting their jerseys.
I didn't care. I don't care that he's changing his number. It doesn't bother me any, because this was the number that he embodied, and this is the number that I want to like have that memory with and this experience with, because he is such an amazing individual to talk to and get to know, and his experience in meeting you were just and now I see where he gets it from. It's got to be a Holley family trait, because you guys are all just phenomenal. So
Well, you know,
I love it.
we just have philosophies and a belief system that we passed to all of our children, and it's been very blessed for us. My daughter's here, and she's a professional actress, and everybody has the same philosophy, and it's very simple. You know, sometimes you cannot control who your competition is, but the one thing you can control, never let anybody outwork you.
Right.
Never let anybody outwork you. That you can, at the end of the day, that will decide who wins, who loses, who stays, who goes.
Yeah.
And that's always been his philosophy. And his mother has always told him, your journey may not be the same as anybody else.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like this draft, it might not be the same as anybody else. You know, he came out and we thought some things and didn't happen, and you take the blows. Then he went to the USFL, took a last place team, took them to the championship, went to Canada,
Won the championship.
won the Grey Cup
Came to
first year.
Cleveland. Won the championship.
Amazing.
I'll let you feel that. You see the you see the you see that's the but that
You
is
see that pattern.
So I have two daughters, 6 and 8, and I had my first son about a month ago.
okay.
A month ago Sunday. So as a dad, seeing him not just go through the highs, but the lows, like I was talking to him here, like the high of like, hey, you know, I had a good college career, I may get drafted, and then the lows. How did you, as a father, how supportive were you? What encouraging things did you feed him to encourage him to continue?
Well, I think the biggest thing that my wife and I we've done is just show the love consistent. Be consistent in your love toward your children. Always have a good word to say to them, good, bad, or indifferent, where they go through good, bad, or indifferent. And just let them know this is all a part of building blocks of real life. You have the good stuff, and you're going to have the bad stuff. And it's not whether or not it's going to happen. It's going to happen to you. The question is how you deal with it.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
one of his mentors, who coached in the NFL for 27 years, and he only coached defensive linemen. He's still an older, very gentleman. We call him and talk to him all the time. He told us as a family. He says, if you really want to know anything about as you move up in the ladder, keep your circle tight.
I can agree.
Just
I think that's
keep your
very,
circle
very
tight.
True.
Put yourself around people that will believe you, whether you're doing however. And that's what.
When you're doing the right thing, the right people will gravitate towards
Sure,
it.
sure.
Right.
That's what you want to know. That's what, right, because you know, like attracts like.
Yep.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and those people will also help build you back up and make you stronger when you're having those low moments. And they're going to be supportive of you, and it's like they're your extended family.
Sure.
You know, and that's
Sure.
what I think a lot of people need and thrive on, because if you want to be successful, you're going to put yourself in positions to continue to be successful.
Yeah.
And you're not going to want to put yourself in a position where somebody's going to drag you down by something, or you know, an action or a phrase or a statement or just anything.
So true.
Like, and I think Ralph has that personality and that persona about him that is just going to draw nothing but positive energy.
absolutely.
Like you can't not be around him and not smile
Yeah.
and feel that positive vibe coming from him, because and that comes from you, sir. I have to say that. Like his upbringing and the kindness and love and the constant kick in the pants to want to do well.
Yeah.
He's just embraced every bit of that, and you can feel that when you're in his presence. And I think that's what this team is going to feel too, and they're going to rally around him.
We hope
and
so.
I really hope
I
that
think so.
he has a very long and successful and just amazing career here in Cleveland, because knowing him, I want him to stay.
Well, as a family, we've been watching football for a long time, but I just cannot speak to how honored we were to have the opportunity to come to Cleveland, 3 hours away from home, just like Toronto was.
Yeah.
We were so excited, and to be around such a real fan base.
Yes.
We love, like, our favorite. I was just telling one of my friends I was coming over here. One of my favorite movies I had to look at again was Draft Day.
Draft day, yeah.
That's a great
And I said, to
movie.
really understand what this is about, you look at that, and it's based upon the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
And just the intricacies that people go through when they're looking at character, when they're looking at work ethic, when they're looking at what you are made of and what our team stands for. We thought it was a perfect fit.
Absolutely.
I'm glad. I'm glad that make the transition better and more welcoming for you guys, because
Yeah.
that's important too.
Yeah.
We want everybody who's here to embrace Cleveland and be supportive of the Browns and be shouting on those fields and cheering the team on and just grow and thrive. And it's nice too, because it's more local for you guys then as a family, and it helps keep you more family orientated, not being so far away from one another.
Absolutely.
And that's even better, because I think that builds the teammate stronger.
I talked with
Because
Ralph.
they know they got their
I
family
talked with
here.
Ralph last weekend. We were all at a distillery function, and his buddy he's been through thick and thin with. Like I said, you all just did a complete circle back together. You know what I'm saying? So he's here. It's like that's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my wife told me to say, we really appreciate you guys. The
Thank
bearded Browns. I mean,
Yeah.
we really appreciate just the way you've reached out to us and embraced us. So from the family, thank you so much.
So
Oh, you
as
are more than welcome.
not to change the subject, but as a father,
Yeah.
you kept on saying the words building blocks, and I'm thinking like, I need to know what those. You have to tell me all of them, because we'll probably be here for a couple hours.
He needs
'Cause I'm
some
sure
boy
there's a
dad
lot of
tips.
building blocks.
No, it's just
So what is some applications, and even to fathers out there that's probably watching the stream or whatever?
Well, if you want some basic building blocks to build great kids, is number one, you have to give them a work ethic. My mother said the only way you teach a kid to work is to make them work. So giving them responsibilities, try to teach them personal responsibility, that you are responsible for this, and there are consequences if you don't do this. Through it, and to be long-suffering in your loving and your teaching, so that they will understand, even if I make a mistake, I'm still loved. And just groom them and give them. And if the biggest thing I would ever leave a parent is to speak vision to your child. Speak vision.
Man,
speak,
without vision
speak,
shall perish.
Speak 5 years down the road. You will hear if you ever hear my wife's story, she'll tell you that she had a vision for both Ralph and both Mackenzie, all of our kids, that when you were born, this is what I saw for you, and you reiterate it over and over again, so that other people around them don't give them a vision that you don't want them to have.
That's
You
so
give them the
true.
vision as a parent. And the training, I can't speak enough about training. Train your children the most important things that they need to know now. They don't need them, but they can store them and bring them back when they need them.
Nice.
Ralph Senior dropping knowledge. y'all. He's
so-
dropping that knowledge.
Take me back to the moment. I don't know if you found out. He probably called you when he found out the team that he was going to be with, right? So take me back to the moment, and not just when he told you, but when it was official. When you were you there when he signed?
Yeah, we were there.
When you're there when you signed, that moment, I'm about to get emotional. As a father,
Yeah.
that moment, like all the traveling,
Yeah.
all the money you probably putting toward pads and shoes and food, and clothing.
Yeah.
That moment, right there. What was that moment like?
Well, I think it started when we were at the Grey Cup in Vancouver, and they won the Grey Cup. And then it just kind of dawned on me that, wow, everywhere this guy has gone, he's won. and they won on. We won on a Saturday. They partied on Sunday. Went to the big parade on Monday, and he started getting calls on Tuesday. And they start coming in, and by that Wednesday, he normally was going to take a week or two to take some time off, but he started traveling on Wednesday. He went to Atlanta, went here, went there, just going around, and then he came to Cleveland, and he was like, man, Dad, I really like what they're doing. I like
You was like, are
their
you sure about
program.
that? I mean, they
No,
just had 3
no.
wins
But
last
that's
year.
actually refreshing.
Tell me what they're doing over there.
I said, and then he
They're
just
funny.
spoke, and he kept traveling and kept traveling. Some places he didn't want to go. I said, well, we'll go to get, to get the experience and get your interviewing skills up.
Well, and comparison's sake
Right,
too.
and comparisons up. And so, when he finally made his decision, we talked with him. We talked with his agent. He says, hey, I'm going to Cleveland, and so we the big thing that you asked, that when we came to the facility to sign, it was a humbling moment. That's all I can say.
Was he
because
emotional?
the journey was so hard and so long.
It's when you get to look at it and go, yes,
Yeah.
everything that we've done this is where.
And it makes that journey that worth it more, as opposed to, not that if it's given to you it means nothing.
Sure.
But the fact that he grinded in this moment right here, I'm just enjoyed it a little more.
Yeah.
Because of the work ethic and stuff. Even as a father, obviously the building blocks of foundation you put in him, I can see. I can just think of me and my girls and son. Like one day, I can see all the hard work. I can probably get emotional too. But
Yeah.
that is. I saw the pictures online. That's what when we found out we was going to interview him the first time, I went online. I watched the YouTube tape, with him in the Canadian Football League. I'm like, this dude's quick, man. How did they not see him earlier? This is weird. This is too good to be true. Let me watch some more. But then I went on and saw the signing, and then just the glow on your family's face.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this family's dope. Because you just saw the joy, right?
That
It wasn't a
proudness.
fake joy. It wasn't nothing. It was just finally,
It's just the work, the hard work that's been put in, that he's done the work. It's been amazing to me that my that he has become one of my biggest inspirations to stay healthy, to work out, just because of his commitment. I mean, his commitment is amazing to the task. And I'm like, okay, I know you say you want to be like me, but I really want to be like you.
Oh, that's great.
That's what's coming full circle.
Yeah, full circle.
Because you helped create that young man into such a phenomenal and exuberant individual.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's something amazing to say. I want to be like you. Now, I will say I want to be like my son, because he's 6'2" and has gorgeous eyelashes and lips and curly hair, and he's skinny as a rail. And I wish that I could be 6'2", but I'm stuck at 5'4". I'm vertically challenged, and he likes to use me as an armrest. So I'm totally chill with that, And when I was raising my son, most of the time, we had our ups and we had our downs, but everything that happened with he and I throughout our life made him the workaholic that he is today. And I say that as a good thing, because even when he was in school, he didn't even want to miss a day when he was sick. There were times I had to tell him, no, you are not going. You have 103 fever. You are not going to school. He's like, but I want to go. I'm like, no. You're going to thank me later, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that, because I think that's how you were with your kids. And you may not like this now, but you're going to thank me later for this advice.
Sure. That's why I tell parents, give them everything you have now, because they don't. You know what 10 years from now looks like. They don't.
Exactly.
You know something they don't know, so trust yourself when you're training your kids. They just don't get it right now, and don't expect them to get it.
Honor our knowledge base, kids. You
Right.
hear that? Respect your elders. We do know a little something that you don't. So please take that into consideration when you're speaking to us.
So, are you planning on coming to some home games?
Every home game.
Oh, yes.
We're coming to every home game, and then we slide it out when he travels, we're going to be there too.
Nice.
No winter games, right? You're going to hit all the warm weather ones?
We're going to hit every game. Weather's not an issue.
Okay. They're from Detroit,
yes.
so it's the same type of weather. Actually, probably a little worse.
We come prepared.
Oh, that's what I like to hear.
So
We'll be looking for you out there too.
yeah, it's thank you for coming on.
No, thank you so much
Appreciate
for the
you
invitation.
for your
Thank you.
installing parental wisdom to me.
Yep. Spitting that
Now I'm gonna go
knowledge.
to my wife and like, listen, I learned to be a better parent. So you listen to me too, wife, and then she'll tell me to go to the couch.
I'll let you know when the book is coming out. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do it. But thanks for coming out. I would
you.
love to get maybe once he's settled, maybe get together as a family.
Absolutely.
I mean, as a family, like you family, our
Sure,
family.
sure, absolutely.
And if it's just eating somewhere, because we love to eat food.
I hear.
And just do it less than let more looser.
Yeah.
It's got to be a wing place though, because we know
Obviously.
Ralph is a
Yeah, Ralph is a wing
wingman.
guy.
He's a wing guy.
So we got to make sure they have really good wings. We need to do our homework on that first.
Yeah.
We don't want to disappoint.
But you have a great son. Glad
Thank you.
not a lot of when he said, "Yeah, I'll get together with you guys," I believed it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like one of these players that were like, "Yeah, I'll talk to you."
Yeah.
I was like, we actually got the podcast. I was like, I don't know about you guys, but I believe him.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go get some food with this guy one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it actually happened last week. So,
I-
Set it up.
yeah.
We're going
So
to that wing spot he was talking about before.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
so it's
there it
one
is.
spot.
There it is.
we have a
It's already
date
set up.
with Ralph again. But
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
guys so much for the invitation. Really
Thank
appreciate
you,
it. Thank
Mr.
you. Thank you.
Give it up for Ralph's dad.
Yes.
Ralph Senior Angel. That's why his name is Ralph. He's just Ralph Holley Senior. Drop the ball on that one, guys. Why isn't that in the notes?
Them notes went like this.
If you did your homework,
Mike messed that
you would
up.
have known.
Mike messed me up. He didn't put his dad's name. So you should know he's a junior.
I think
Well,
we're
yeah,
gonna.
that's
I think we're gonna take a small break, Angel.
Are
you
we?
okay with the
Well,
small
no,
break?
you guys can.
Okay.
I'm committed to this baby. Huh?
It's just the Angel Show.
No, yeah. If you guys need to go, you guys can. I want to catch them up on picks, so we missed
Yeah,
a lot.
Feel free, because I am going to step away.
Oh, I'm going
Thank
to
you,
take
sir.
my mic back then.
Well, go ahead. You're just
Take my mic back.
A lot
So
bigger.
we're on some pick. I don't even know what pick we're on. I got wrapped up in talking to Ralph's dad that I was almost forgot that I was on the sports podcast actually. Well, that was a good get, Mike. Thanks for telling him to come on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was really, really cool. I'm trying to catch up on the picks here because I was trying to pay attention but not be rude at the same time. All right, so what we have is Booker, offensive guard. Williams went to San Francisco. Wow, that was a heavy one. And his dad was pretty dope.
Man, I was getting poured on over here with rain. It was crazy.
So we're
I think-
good now?
I think we're good now, though.
Okay.
Temporary roof we're putting together here.
So you set up a date with Ralph for another wing day?
Yeah, that place we were actually talking about in downtown before. While we were live, we were talking about it. I think we're all going to go there one day soon.
I am game, definitely.
Got that set up. I told him we're doing it. I do want to take Angel. I know you don't want to, but I think it's best because there are some autographs that want to be signed by multiple people that want to leave, by not just us.
Oh, Ralph needs to sign. Got it.
No, Ralph already signed that Browns contract.
Oh, no. Okay.
No.
I'm talking about autographs. Okay. Yeah, we could take a break.
I do.
So let's catch up on picks.
I do want to say really quick here at JB's Tavern, July 27th, that falls on a Sunday. It's 3 to 8 o'clock. They're having a summer party. There will be a band here. The band is called Parma Town Partiers. They will be performing 4 to 7. Wear your favorite Hawaiian gear. There's going to be food trucks and picnic games. And your bartenders up here, Jenny, Maggie, and Mary Ann, will be more than happy to take care of you.
There's a lot of talent. selling
And
this
we
board.
are JB's Tavern, 4305 Brookpark Road.
Yeah, and we might have our other special guest, Barry Shuck, coming on. I cannot get a hold of Dustin.
Oh, he's probably, yeah, Dustin is in the middle of chaos. Probably can't get anything. But yeah.
And the Cleveland Browns schedule will be released, as well as single game tickets, May 14th.
May 14th.
That's, man, I can't wait to see who we're going to. I know who we're going to play. I just don't know who's home, know who's away. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Cobra!
I love it. We got more picks and we got a stud.
Yes,
we go.
absolutely.
I said that. But
Angel's been calling that
Nonetheless.
all. I want to say you've been calling that all off
yeah,
season.
I said Abdul and then him when we first started the process. So, and then I went to him. But hey, we're gonna go break. And then we'll be back, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, I told Barry we'll be back in about 15 minutes.
15.
15 minutes, y'all
With
heard
Barry
here.
Shuck, when we get his take on what just happened with the Cleveland Browns.
Dun dun dun.
We'll be back.
Feedback.
I feel like my ears are on fire. Justin's on. Good. Hey, what's up? Hey, it's
Hey,
Bitter Browns. We're back.
hey, can you hear me all right?
Dustin is Dustin on?
Yes, Dustin.
Dustin is on. I can't see anything. I'm blind. Dustin, what is up? He is live from Green Bay right now, right in the middle of everything, middle of the muck. Dustin, we're getting a lot of messages about this, what the Browns did. So my first
Oh boy.
question, sorry, this is Dustin from Here We Go Brownies.
It's a
He's
team
in the
coming
middle
out.
of Green Bay. So tell me, Dustin, how do you, first of all, what's your thought on the pick?
First and foremost, can you see me? Am I live on the feed? Can you see me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
see you.
we can see you.
Okay, so as you can see,
It's a
Lambeau
delay.
Field obviously is behind us. There was a lot of booze from Lambeau. You can imagine. I heard there was a Journey concert and there was a lot of booze there as well. This is an interesting pick. Now, I'm not biased. You take a player when he's good. Now, clearly the Jacksonville Jaguars called with the Godfather type of scenario with the Browns could not resist to take to have the ability to take 2 first-round draft picks next year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then have picks this year. Now, we don't know the Browns any moment could move up here ahead of Pittsburgh and take a quarterback like Milroe or somebody. We just don't know what that's going to look like, right? That's still in play. But I don't know if that's still in play if you have 2 draft picks at the top of the second round. Like, it's one of those boom, boom kind of picks you can make. But I can tell you, I thought we were taking Genty. Like, literally, I thought that was the pick.
I thought too.
That crossed my mind. It really did.
And with offensive skill players, what we need, he went right off the board to the Raiders right after us. So I just hope that doesn't come back to haunt us as Browns fans, because that does happen with things. But that's my gut. And I want to give you guys a really quick shout here. There is the Channel bus, by the way. We had hundreds of people come through today. The flag is flying and stuff. It's a little chilly here in Green Bay, but yeah, I'm not like, I don't know. I think it's going to take me a little while to digest this pick. I'm a little emotionally
Yeah.
still attached. But what the Browns did by getting, I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars are not going to be great this year. So that's going to be a high pick for the Browns next year. And the Browns, are 8 to 10 wins. That's like a high ceiling. You know, are we positioning ourselves to go get Manning next year?
Yeah, if he comes out.
Well, you start asking yourself, are you positioning for next year or not, right? But
Yeah.
it also tells me we could go get Will Howard still or something like that. But I don't know. It's a little early. I'm a little emotional still about it.
Yeah, it's definitely not even close to being done. I mean, we're just scraping the surface. I was really surprised on them doing the trade. I wasn't about it. I wanted the easy layup, Dustin, and
Yeah.
I just wanted either. I was an Abdul guy, and I was okay with Travis, and they did what they did, and now I have to wait patiently to see how things transpire and work out the rest of the way. I'm
Right.
with you on that.
So
So
side of this is a crazy. This is gonna be a lot to deal with, right? Like,
Right.
he's a monster, even though he plays for a team we don't like to root for. Going to make an immediate difference on the line. Tough out for Cleveland, for anybody that goes against the Browns. But you still need offensive skilled playmakers in the National
Yep.
Football League to win games. And Ashton Jennings was there. I just hope we don't come back to haunt us. And that was, I don't know, like I feel like I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, clearly we're going to know in the next hour what the Browns do with the bottom of the draft and who they take. But um, I talked about this on the podcast. I think there's a scenario if the Browns get a call and it's a Godfather type of scenario, you have to take it.
Right.
Yeah.
You have capital and build the team in the next 5 years.
So for me, the pick now, I mean, after like processing, it kind of makes sense because Andrew Barry's a Philadelphia guy, and I think he's trying to build this team like Philadelphia with the front four being dangerous. So now you have Mason Graham on the side with Miles, you have Hall, and then you can have McGuire or even Wright. So your front four I think, is going to be pretty solid. But then again, you have to ask yourself, how are you going to score points without offensive power? So hopefully in the second round here, they can pick up an offensive lineman, a running back, and a receiver to kind of you have to overdo it now in these later picks because you need talent on the offense. You only scored 15 points a game last year.
And the Bengals
Yeah.
just took edge rusher out of Texas A&M, Shamar Stewart.
Another defensive pick.
Yes.
So yeah, the defensive is dominating this first round, which is pushing all the offense to you in the second round.
Right. I mean, having the third pick and the first pick, you're going to take two of the top four offensive players that are going to be probably available at the top of the draft. Now, we also got, as you know, to talk about the draft, the trade that happened before the trade, going to get the fifth round pick back from the Penny. So the Browns are loaded draft picks, but they do have to hit on some of these competitive.
It is coming in a little. We just like kind of lost you there for a minute.
Yeah, it was breaking up a little bit, Dustin, on that tail end of that. You want to try to reiterate?
Let me see if I can go out here and.
Okay.
Ooh, that sounds better.
Yeah.
That
We want to
better?
make sure. Yes.
There we go. How's that? I went
Perfect.
Oh,
on
that's
the
actually
bus.
way better.
Absolutely.
No, I was just saying, we have to really figure out what we're going to do on the top part of the second round of the draft because we're going to have a lot of offensive firepower already.
Yeah,
Very
yeah, you need offense now. I mean, that's why I was attracted to Hunter because I'm like, he can be on the side of Judy, add some depth of receiver, and then you can use him occasionally as corner as defensive help. But then again, I mean, I did choose Mason Graham in the beginning of this whole process.
Yes,
so,
yes, you did.
so I'm conflicted because I wanted Mason Graham, but at the same time, I know what's better for the team is offense.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say, is Mr. Holley still hanging out with you tonight, having a
They
good time?
actually just left, and his dad actually came on and gave us a lot of insight on Ralph Holley. So
Yeah, we talked to his dad for about 20, 25 minutes, and he offered some insight from a dad's perspective of, Holley and how his process of. Did you know he was a soccer player?
Yeah, I mean, he's a smart guy.
Yeah, I didn't even
mean,
know he was that until his dad said it. But
His dad's a doctor. I mean, very smart man.
so you see Genty, you're a Boise State fan. You're from Boise State. Do you think Genty's a good pick there in Vegas? That's a good fit.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you why. When the Browns had their Boise State had their pro day, the general manager of the Raiders went out. So I knew when the Browns passed that Genty was coming off the board. You don't send your general manager out too. Now here's the other thing. I mean, the Cleveland Browns took their entire staff out to Colorado, and up to this point, they have not taken Colorado Buffalo. So
That's true.
that's the ultimate because all the punches taken Travis, or secondly, trading down that can't this pick. So bevy of picks, and clearly we did.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I'm hoping. I kind of would be. I get they probably would jump up and try to get their quarterback, but I feel like trading back to get all those picks just to jump up is kind of counterproductive in a way.
I agree.
unless they feel they can get their guy, which I think Jalen Milroe might be their guy in the second round with one of those picks. But they always keep us
Right.
on our toes, don't they?
Right.
Not have Graham on my bingo card tonight at the NFL draft, nor did any of these Browns fans. And like you said, booed. I can understand why, because this is not what the Browns, I think, want to see at least.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're breaking up pretty bad, Dustin. We're gonna.
Okay,
Can
is
you
that
get?
better? Sorry,
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're better.
kind of windy. That's probably a little better now.
Okay.
Well, as I
Well,
say, I'll let you guys go, but as I say, if you want to have me on next week and we can figure out a night and we can digest this a little more, I'd love to come on and chat about it for sure.
yeah, we'll do that. All right, Dustin from Here We Go Brownies, give them a follow if you don't, because they already have like billions of followers anyways. But thank you for jumping on our live stream. Appreciate it.
Huge thanks, Dustin. And I enjoyed myself hanging out with you last week at Lake Erie Distillery.
Thanks for the invite. That was
Absolutely.
fun. That was good whiskey bourbon up there. If you haven't been there, please visit. It's over there in Willoughby, Ohio. Fun place. Thanks for the invite.
And I was going to say, guys, Bearded Browns podcast, amazing guys, amazing individuals. You got to follow them. They're doing it right, and they're great Browns. Right, so follow them as well, guys. They're great.
We really appreciate that. We do, man.
All right, thank
you.
All right, go Browns.
Thanks, Dustin. Yep,
Go Browns.
Always go Browns.
Go Browns.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, take care.
Oh, you're working on the next Barry? We're working on Barry Shuck from here. Dogs by Nature. He's going to hop on next and tell us his opinion. We might have to even get Chad on at some point.
Yes.
He's 3 hours behind us. He can wait.
Yeah, he's 3 hours behind us. He's in California. Offensive tackle just got off the board. This guy supposedly can play every position on the line, so that's a good pick up there for Tampa. Who's going to protect? Not Tampa, I'm sorry. Who just picked that?
Seattle.
Oh, Seattle. That's a good pick. They're getting Sam Darnold some protection over there in Seattle. A lot of line, defense, offensive line,
yes.
defensive tackles, defensive line.
Guard, Tyler Booker.
The
guard.
grunters on the team is getting a lot of picks.
At least one tight end got drafted.
Yeah, Warren got drafted and
Two.
Two.
Tyler Warren got drafted. Also,
Loveland to
Yes.
Chicago.
Yep.
So two offense, and
Yeah.
then the receiver from Arizona got drafted. So 3 offensive people. That's crazy. This is a weird.
Knew it was going to be weird, man.
Yeah, this is
Knew it was gonna be
and there's really there's a lot of offensive power still there.
Well, that's what I'm intrigued to see what happens tomorrow.
what
so
what do we
much-
think we're gonna do now? Like, what do you?
Gotta
What's
go
your gut say? What
Offense.
does your gut say at 33? Who are you taking?
You take Milroe if he's there. I think they're high on him. And then I think
we all know that we have a quarterback issue. Yes, we have Flacco back. Yes, we have Kenny in the rooms. But we do have a quarterback problem. You got to go for a quarterback. That's just me, man. I just think
I agree. You have to pick one in this draft.
You
have to.
You have. That's a must. If you have a problem, you fix it. That's one of them. And at your 33, you go get the guy that you've been wanting to get. That's just a no-brainer to me. But I also wanted the easy layup on second round pick, or our second pick in the first round, and that went in a total direction. But that's why this is what this is about.
Exactly. That's why we've listened to months of people not know anything.
And like Mike said it, Angel said it, everything up to this point, before this point, was all pure speculation.
All speculation.
It'll be interesting to see what happens after Tampa, because after Tampa is Denver, and then after Denver it's Pittsburgh. There's a lot
Both
of talk.
need quarterbacks.
Yeah. So you have your quarterbacks. They have a quarterback in Tampa. They have a quarterback in Denver.
They do have a quarterback.
I'm curious to see what Pittsburgh does.
Yes.
So you'll be
that's
wondering.
That's who we got to play, and I'm hoping. I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to jinx nothing, but they have a quarterback problem also, and I want them.
Because they only have one.
In my eyes, I want them to pick the worst one. Period.
I think there's a lot of rumors that Aaron might go there after the draft, and that's the worst situation for them, anyways. I don't think Aaron and.
I don't think that's a good fit.
Yeah. It's going to be
Him and Tomlin, I can automatically see clashing.
because he'll be like, chill out, bro. And
Yeah.
Tomlin's like, bro, you need to play.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be crazy. But they do have good offensive weapons.
Yes.
So that helps.
I mean, Pickens and DK Metcalf. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. So it's going to be interesting. I
Yeah,
think
they definitely need somebody to throw them guys the football.
Yeah,
So we
right,
shall
yeah.
see. We shall see.
I think Tampa here goes after a corner. I think they need defensive help. I want to see best of Cincinnati, Pittsburgh's needs. I try to remember all this stuff. I totally forgot. Yeah, we'll see how. I think Tampa needs a corner. So I think the corner from Michigan's still on the board.
yes.
It's
Yes.
crazy. He's
Just-
one of the top-rated
yes.
corners, and he's still on the
Still
board
on the
at
board.
19. That is insane to even think about. Pittsburgh needs a cornerback, guard, and offensive tackle. So if not, maybe they can go out there the best corner available. We'll see if that's where they go if they don't believe any of these quarterbacks. But I thought this was the pick. I was like, that picks in. Is he good?
Tony Yesko on here. He says Steelers going for Sanders.
I felt that could happen.
Yeah, that could happen. Good, and that means we can get Milrow or Dart.
Yes. Yep. And I've been on the dart. I've been on the dart wagon, but I'm down with Milrow too, man. Like I said, up here in the AFC North, you need a bigger quarterback.
You need a quarterback that's got the arm and throw it in the wind.
Yeah, and I mean Milrow does have a cannon on him. He's definitely developmental type. I don't think he's a plug-in quarterback right away.
They have the Dolphins trying to pick to get him, huh?
We're gonna see what's happening.
49%. Oh, they had it. They had it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So the 7% at the Steelers. So if he's going to fall, he might fall there. The Sanders slide is continuing.
Yes,
is he going to
it
slide
is.
into the second
I'm telling
round?
you, as soon as I knew that he wasn't going to be at the draft, I was like, he's
Yeah.
not getting picked early at all.
Yeah.
I knew it.
He was like, I'm good. I'm not
Yeah.
going to go.
Sanders slide.
Oh man, so yeah, the Browns they kind of threw me off. It is crazy because I think they're building an defensive line, kind of like what Philadelphia currently has, which is a crazy front four. And I think the Browns are going younger in the front, so that's good. I mean, I like Ralph Holley.
Yes.
You add him along with Mason Graham, McGuire, Wright, and then. What it is, it's interchangeable. So you can have Mason, you can have Mason Graham, you can have Holley, you can have Hall. You can just interchange them and give them rest.
I think that's their plan to keep them fresh.
I was just
In
you
and
took
out.
the words out of my mouth. Fresh on there. Yep. Keep them
was-
guys fresh and to plug them runs up. Absolutely. All right.
Here's a pick. See, I think it's a corner.
Wide receiver.
Emeka Buka.
Buckeye. He gave
I
Baker
like
a
it.
weapon.
I like it.
Wow.
I like it for
Baker's got a
them.
receiver. I mean, he has a receiver.
Well,
anyway.
yeah.
a
Yes.
receiver.
Yeah.
Look, he's pumped.
Yes.
First round
I'm
pick.
telling you, this is a
That's
steal.
a good pick.
This is a
That
steal.
is a good pick for Baker and down there in Tampa. Wow. Wow. That is
Yeah,
crazy.
he looks thoroughly excited to be going
Kudos
down there.
to that kid.
Yeah.
Seriously. Stuck around.
I wonder how Chris feels about that. He's an Ohio State fan.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is he still here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's still. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good pickup, man. He slid that far. I was kind of hoping that he would fall in the second round because we had 3 picks.
Yeah,
but-
right.
yeah, that's a good pickup. Baker's going to be even better in a horrible division.
Right.
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 He's going to throw for 5,000 yards next year.
Yeah. And all
It's
the
insane.
Baker bros are going to be like, why didn't we keep him?
You already know.
Oh, you already know. You already
That
know.
is such a good pickup for them. I did not expect him. Wow.
And they got their quarterback. They got him another weapon.
Yeah, that's Chris Godwin
Chris-
and him.
yeah,
I forgot about
yeah.
Godwin. I was
Yeah,
thinking
Godwin.
about the tight end, but
Ev-
not him. Oh yeah, they're going to be,
And Evans.
and they have a good
is
running
sti-
back
Yes.
too.
Evans is still legit.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is crazy. Baker's going to tear up the league next year, guys.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Dude, it's just dawning on me who they have on his team. Dude, oh wow. I forgot their running back. Their running back isn't bad either. I'm looking at the
No,
running back.
he's pretty decent.
Dude, what I don't know their running back. They were just talking about him on TV. Offensive line, defensive line, running back. Oh, Irving, Bucky
Bucky Irving, yeah,
yeah,
number 7.
yeah.
Number 7.
So they're going to be they building an offensive powerhouse in a weak division. That they did. Well, Baker's going to get another division title.
Yep.
Yeah, we're waiting on Barry.
Barry Shuck.
Yeah, be patient with us. We're going to have Barry on. We're going to see how he feels about what the Browns did. I actually think he told Mike that don't be surprised if a trade down. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. So, hi, guys out there in Facebook land. Tell me how you feel about this pick, or the not pick, number 5. How do you feel about that?
I thought we were either going to go with the layup of Travis Hunter or trade down. How far, I didn't know, but I think we got a haul and a steal from Jacksonville. They're not going to be good. I mean, I don't think they're going to be good. So the first round pick next year is going to be high. So that's a bonus. We added to our second round this year, which is inevitably even better, so that we can add talent. We need help everywhere.
I really think what they're doing right now is they're going to get the weapons that they need coming up in the second round, third round, offensive weapons. And I really think they're already looking at next year's draft at that quarterback class.
Hey, Barry, how you doing, sir?
Barry Shuck there.
Can you hear me?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Oh, there he is.
Barry Shuck from Denver's on the board. What they need is a running back, receiver, cornerback, nose tackle, offensive tackle depth, and edge rusher. So, Barry, tell us your initial thought of the trade down to 5. Can you hear me?
At first, it was like I had it on my screen. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Can you
Is
hear
it
us,
delayed?
Barry?
Yeah. There's a delay.
Yeah. I can hear you.
Yeah, we're good. We're just on the
there
delay.
is. How much?
About 30
Delay.
seconds.
We're having a wonderful night down here, if you can't tell.
a lot of connection issues. But
30-second delay.
Yeah, it feels like it at least.
No, it's not. It's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. It's about 5 seconds at that. You can hear us though, Barry. 10-4.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
You notice I got something I'm sporting.
I like that little beard you got going there.
Yes. What's up?
He's got a little hair growing. I like that. It makes you look 10 years younger.
It's my frosty.
That's my problem.
So, Barry, since there's a weird
I was
delay,
watching the draft.
Sorry, I was going to let you talk. It's your time to shine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I at first I after the Titans picked, I was looking at the screen and I was looking there and it said Jaguars and I thought, have we gone through that many picks already? And I was looking and I was studying and I went,
Right.
oh. March 20th, I wrote a story about why what is the reason why we shouldn't draft Mason Graham.
Short arms. Right?
Yeah.
That's one of them. It is.
Yeah,
He does have short. That's one of his knocks. All right, go ahead. What else?
Yeah, I think it's a good pick.
Okay.
I was hoping that if they went down to the 5th pick that they would take one of the offensive tackles.
Okay.
The one from LSU would have been great, and we could have stuck him on the sideline and let him learn a year because after this year, after next year, we're not going to have Jack Conklin anymore. DeJuan Jones has played 2 years and been on IR 2 years. So offensive tackle probably would have been my choice. But I always believe that you build your team from the offensive and defensive lines out, and then you fill in.
Yeah, I agree with that method. Though I wanted Hunter, I fell in love with Hunter. Though I wanted Mason Graham, I said in the beginning the whole draft process. I think Mason Graham's one of the best talent in the draft. If you can get him, put him on the line next to Miles. That's going to free up Miles. May free up him. He had 6 sacks in Michigan his whole career. That's pretty good for a tight end, defensive tackle. He gets behind the line a lot, and then you can add Hall, or you can interchange it. Put Hall, put Ralph, put whoever there, and then McGuire and Wright. That's a good front four, which Philly has, by the way,
Yeah.
and part of the reason why they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Right now we have 6 defensive tackles on the roster. You mentioned Mike Hall. You mentioned Holley Jr. And Graham, of course. We also had we signed Malik Collins in free agency.
Yeah,
And
forgot about
last
him.
year in the 7th round, we in 7th round we chose Jawan Briggs. He is on a reserve futures contract. They cut him, then put him on practice squad, then cut him, put him on the main roster. Towards the end of the year when we weren't winning, he played a lot of snaps. Beginning of the year, he didn't play any snaps. And then, of course, we got Shelby Harris, who's 33 years old. It doesn't look like we're going to sign Maurice Hurst back. So those are the 6 defensive tackles. And, they're only going to keep 4.
Yeah.
They keep 4 defensive ends and 4 defensive tackles. But what Jim Schwartz does is he rotates them in consistently. And the reason behind that is he doesn't blitz. So he requires his defensive line to make all the havoc in the offensive backfield and to do all the sacks.
Yep.
He's not going to send a linebacker. He's not going to send a safety. He wants the defensive line to be the entire pressure. And the only reason to do that, way to do that, is to constantly get guys fresh in and sub in and get a blow and, rest up, come in and play. Now, some of these defensive tackles are going to get more snaps than others, but he's still going to get 4 guys that go in.
So we're going to have,
we're signing Ralph.
We're going to have a fresh rotation.
And the fresh rotation and getting Ralph Holley, getting Malik Collins in. I think that there's going to be 2 with Mike Hall and then with, of course, with Graham. We'll just have to see with Shelby Harris. Now, I know that Malik Collins and Ralph Holley can play on the outside. And, of course, you got to have versatility along the defensive line. But that's the reason we got so many defensive tackles is you got to rotate them in. Offensive line, all 5 guys play all game. That's not what Schwartz does with his defensive line. He keeps Myles Garrett out there 75% of the time, but he'll get somebody to come in for him like Ogbo and give him a rest so that he puts him back in. But they're responsible for the offensive terror and all the sacks because they're not going to get any help.
Yeah, it's insane to know that this defense this year. Oh, sorry, you're talking.
Yeah.
Kind of lost your audio there for a second, Barry. I was just gonna say it is crazy how our defensive line is going to be this year. I think, like you said, with the rotation, it's going to be big.
Shador just went to Pittsburgh.
Shador Sanders just went to Pittsburgh.
That's my guess. Shador's going to Pittsburgh.
It's not in, but we think it's in.
Yeah, he's on the phone. They just drafted Shador.
For sure.
But yeah, the defensive line I think is going to be a crucial aspect of this whole team this year. I know Chad doesn't like it when I say defense wins championships, but that's what it is.
Oh, I love it. I start from the lines out. So who do you think Pittsburgh's going to take? You think
Shador?
Take
We
Jackson
think
they just took Shador, Barry.
No,
it's not official.
It's almost official. It's like right on the cusp. We already seen their war room, and they were already kind of standing around like that's what's going to happen. It's coming up real quick, but it's looking like Shador, Barry.
If he comes in and tears it up, this Browns fan base is going to be
stop. It's already bad enough.
Yeah, it's always
The,
it's
those
always
the
it's
ones on
always
the
you,
edge are going to go further on the edge.
it's always you could have had
Yeah.
him. You could have had
Coulda
him.
had,
Coulda
coulda had.
him.
So right after this pick
Well,
trade, we got
he's
a
not
couple
going to.
questions.
Yeah, he's not going to play. Shadur's not going to play this year, so that's a great thing for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mason Rudolph is your coach for the year.
Yeah.
Run, Rudolph.
Yeah, that sucks. Either way, I agree with what you're
wait,
saying.
Wait. They chose a defensive tackle out of Oregon.
Oh,
Faked us out.
I
They
got
said,
tricked.
"Psych." Thank
I
you so
got
much.
tricked.
What?
Yeah, you're ahead of us.
You're ahead of us.
Oh, all right, they're building the
Yeah, I was-
defense.
Okay.
So Shador is sliding.
Still.
Man, there's a lot of defense coming up in this first round.
Today's show is sponsored by Barry Shuck of Dogs by Nature. Thank you for the heads up there, Barry, because
We were prepared for
Yes.
Sanders there.
Barry, I'm literally on the edge of my seat right now for that. Angel's over here. Angel's like this, like just.
So ADD. So I agree with the. Do you agree with the method that I agree with your method? Obviously, you said that building the front. So they're building a front four to get to the quarterback without creating pressure from anyone else. So that's a good thing. Now, the typical fan is going to be upset because they're not drafting offensive power, but they still have 3 second-round picks they can most likely use for offense. Hopefully, right? You would think so.
Yeah.
So who would be your pick right now in the first round and first pick in the second round if they keep it this way?
Well, who I have had, I do a mock draft every year, and who I have had like most of this time since about when the Super Bowl quit was Omarion Hampton, the running back from North Carolina. I absolutely love this guy. He's just a big back. He's an absolute brute, and I would get him with the first pick. Now, when I first picked him and put him on my mock, he was going like 42, I would say. But since the Senior Bowl and since the combine, I've seen him being thrown in at number 20, number 25, number 28. So it's possible that he'll go in the first round. I would love to see him. I would. In fact, if he is not drafted in the first round, if I was Andrew Berry, I'd write his at the end of tonight. I would run up there to the commissioner. I was going to say, the very first thing you should say is the round 2 start. The Cleveland Browns violent finisher, and he consistently falls forward through contact. He's got natural feet for pressing the line. He runs with the outstanding pad leverage, and level, and he's got extreme amount of power. A very strong kid. He's got an elite burst, and he's one of those guys that once he gets through the first level, and then he's gone. He's a good block. The backfield, so it's just a complete back. We still haven't done anything with Nick Chubb. I think we'll sign him, but it's going to kind of be Nick Chubb's not going to play that much. We need a bell cow. Jerome Ford's not that. Peter Strong's not that. We need a bell cow, and that's who I would pick with the first pick. The second pick in the second round, now that we got that from Jacksonville, I kind of feel that we're going to take a quarterback with that. I don't know who that is, but I kind of feel if Shadur, we did an article, if Shadur falls out of the first round, would you take him at the 33rd pick? And 2 of our writers said yes, and 2 of our writers, including me, said no. But I think that might be a possibility. Of course, I don't think another quarterback's going to go in the first round. What do y'all think?
Yeah, from what I seen, the way the ball, though, unless someone trades up, I agree with you. If someone trades into the first round. But yeah, from what I see on the board, I see a lot more defensive players
Yeah.
going,
Yeah.
actually, or offensive tackles, because obviously those are the picks. Actually, the best corner, supposedly on most mocks, is still on the board from Michigan, which is odd to me. But
Sorry, Barry, we're all high right now. The
Yeah,
loudest truck here just pumped a bunch of gas fumes into our faces, and I'm sure you heard that.
yeah,
That's-
yeah, yeah. Well, another guy I'm surprised that's not hadn't been taken is the safety from
Penn State.
Georgia,
Oh
Malachi
yeah,
Starts.
yeah.
oh yeah.
He can
He's
go
got
here.
a rate. He's ranked. Yeah, he's ranked number 8.
Yeah. So a lot of good talent still on the board, and you have 3 picks in the second round. Like, they can do a lot
Absolutely.
if they don't trade any of those to go up. And maybe that's what
Wait a
Barry
minute. Wait a
saw.
minute. Why?
We're all
Wait a
delayed
minute.
again.
Why are you saying that they have 3 picks in the second round?
Don't they have
We have
3?
our pick and they have Jacksonville's pick.
I thought I
No,
saw.
we have 2.
I thought I saw. Yeah, they have. I'm sorry, 2 picks. I apologize. Wait, don't they have 33, 36, and 67? 67 in the second round, or is that third round?
67's in round 3.
Oh, third.
Yeah,
Oh, my
third
bad.
round.
Oh yeah, it
Second's in
does
round
say
3.
3. I'm sorry. They have 2 round, and I
Yeah.
mean that third round's still kind of high. Um,
Yeah. Well, the way that worked was is 3 teams that were tied for the worst record,
yeah.
and then they pulled straws, and we drew number 2. So every other round we pick every other pick. So
Mm.
like we pick number 2 in the first round, number 1 in the second round, number 3 in the third round, and then in the round 4 it goes back the same thing, 2, 1, 3, and we rotate with the Giants and the Titans. So in round 3 we'll pick third,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
a lot of people are picking. A lot of people are picking. That's where our quarterback would go. If they don't take Shador, if they don't take Jackson Dart, then
Milrow.
the 60, yeah, the 67th pick should be a quarterback, and it could be anybody. I don't know who Andrew Barry likes the most.
I don't think Andrew
I
Barry
thought he
likes
was in
us.
love
I can
with,
tell you
with
that.
Travis Hunter.
Do you think then? Yeah. So obviously there's a lot of talk about Flacco starting, but do you believe they believe in Kenny Pickett a little more than what people assume? I'm just asking for myself and my pride.
I do know this, that Andrew Barry has always had a reliable, experienced backup quarterback. When he drafted Baker, he had Casey Keenum. He had Jacoby Brissett behind Deshaun Watson. That's his backup quarterback. He's got 25 NFL starts. He's played in 30 games. That's not an NFL career right there. Joe Flacco, is and never gets hurt. So that's going to be our starting quarterback.
Barry, don't say that.
I think Kenny-
Knock on wood right
Yeah,
now,
right.
Barry.
Knock on the wood. Knock on wood. There it is.
Okay,
She's like,
yeah,
sure.
I got something.
Right.
you know, and the whoever he takes in the third round, or maybe in the second round, that's going to be the guy that can be groomed. And I don't think he'll play next year. He won't play this year, but 2 years from now, if you got somebody that you can groom for 2 years and under Flacco and under Kenny Pickett, then he'll be ready. So no matter how bad he is now or what his problems are, with Will Howard's got issues, Riley Leonard's got issues. The kid from Oregon, Dylan, he's kind of short. All of them have issues. Jalen Milrow could run. He couldn't hit anything at the Senior Bowl. If he got flushed out of the pocket, if he went past one read, he was lost. He couldn't read a defense. So he's going to need 2 years to learn the pro game. But I think that first pick in the third round is probably where you'll see the quarterback taken. If it was me in the second round with that Jaguars pick, I'd go for an offensive tackle. We got to
You're
have
gonna need
somebody
that,
to groom. We got to have somebody, and don't wait to the sixth round. Don't wait, to the fifth round. I know we got rid of all those late round picks to the Texans. Don't wait so long. I mean, get a guy that's a stud. Get somebody early in the second round. Let him sit behind Conklin and DeJuan Jones. When Conklin leaves, your guy's ready.
Barry, it's funny. You've answered pretty much every question we had for you tonight, and I know you normally are pretty on point with that. I do want to ask you one more question before we take off. We know that you have talked to a ton of Browns players in your history, and past and present players. I want to know who is your
Yep.
favorite as of right now.
He's speechless.
Oh, I'd have to say that's a lot of them. I really like Phil Dawson. Phil Dawson taught me a lot about kickers. What Matt Barr taught me is that on a field goal or a PAT, it's not 11 against 11, it's 9 against 11. And I never thought about that either. Um, uh, I got to talk to, I'd have to say, Joe Thomas. Um,
Hands
he
down.
told me he was in his car. Oh, the Chargers just took Hampton.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Oh,
slot. It's a good spot for him.
I told you
Hardball.
he was, yeah.
Yeah.
So there goes that guy. That guy's going to be offensive rookie of the year. I'd have to say Joe Thomas though. He he took the time. This was before his presentation too, so we got to talk about a lot about his time with the guy that made the clay bust, and we talked about that. He told me stuff about it and how he had to sit there, and it was like a 4 hour process. And and the guy said, "I think I'm gonna put a little smile on it." He said, "No, no, no, no. I play offensive guard," and then the guy made a little comment and Joe Thomas made a little grin. He said, "That's the look. That's the grin right there." But Joe Thomas gave me probably the best quote of anybody because I asked him. I said, did you trash talk when you were on the field?" And he said, "Nah, I don't really have a whole lot to say." He said, "Even in the huddle, I don't have much to say, and on the field, I don't have much to say." He said, "But a lot of guys, especially defensive linemen, they're crazy." He said, "They trash talk all the time." He said, and this is what he told me. He said, "You can say well whatever you want, but you're still not getting past me."
And they didn't. And they did not. Best offensive tackle the Browns ever had, probably in a long time.
absolutely.
Hall of Famer,
Yep,
obviously.
class
Yeah.
class guy, class guy, and he's one of those guys that if I mention him in an article, I will send a copy of it to him because I want to keep this relationship going. Although I'm not calling him up and say, "Hey, what you doing? What you gonna do Saturday night?" I don't bother him, but I will send him articles where I mention him. He always responds.
Mm.
Always responds. He always emails. And if I send him a text, like I sent him a text the other day, "Hey, are you going to coach in Germany this year?" Before the day's out, he'll respond. And he doesn't have to. I mean,
Yeah,
all of us are just one shave away from being a nobody, right?
Hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah, good on Joe Thomas. It shows how real
So
he is. How
so
good.
and just a class guy.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for jumping on with us, Barry, real quick, and
Yeah.
giving us your opinion on the picks. And if anyone listens, like I understand you guys wanted Hunter, but I do think in the long term, Mason Graham will benefit the team more once you get off your sadness.
I agree.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
everybody make sure you guys go check out Barry Dogs by Nature. He
Mm.
writes great articles. Don't want to miss him. It gives you plenty of insight about every single thing that he talks about. Is so in depth. We have him on the show quite often. He gives us plenty of insight as well. Make sure to check them out. Dogs by Nature. Do not forget that. Dogs by Nature. DAWGS. Like typical Cleveland
Dogs.
thing. We're the dogs by
Yeah.
nature.
Our whole site's got real talented writers. We got about 6 writers, and they all know what they're talking about, and they all got different attitudes and angles to thing. And it's like a daily newspaper. The article's up today and it's gone tomorrow. That's how many articles we put out. Thanks for
Nice.
having me, fellas.
Thank you.
We
I,
appreciate it,
I
Barry.
I've been
Thank
growing
you.
this just for you.
All
All right,
right.
have a good time.
Have a
Thank
good
you
one,
as well,
man.
Barry. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
All right.
All right, Barry Shuck.
Go Browns.
That's Barry Shuck.
Go Brown.
Yeah, so things are winding down here. I
Yeah,
think we're the
Yeah.
only people here.
yeah.
You want to just cut the stream or You got anything else up your sleeve?
No.
I got a bathroom break coming up. I know that's happening.
Yeah, so we're gonna cut it. Thanks guys for tuning in, watching this live with us. Our first ever live draft party here at JB's Tavern. Come out, visit them. Follow our page, follow their page on Facebook. We often post their specials on our page, so if you so happen to see their page on ours, please give them a follow. Thanks to Chris for allowing us to do this, and we're looking forward for more.
Yep, JB's also, I'm going to send it out there one more time. July 27th, it falls on a Sunday. It's 3 to 8 o'clock. It's a summer party they are hosting. There will be a band, Parma Town Partiers, from 4 to 7. They cover everything from the 80s to current. Wear your favorite Hawaiian gear. That's what they're doing. They're going to have a food truck here, picnic games. So, JB's Tavern, 4305 Brookpark Road is where it's at, Parma, Ohio.
Anything you guys want to close with? Shane, got anything?
Thanks for having me on, fellas.
Thanks for coming out, brother.
Thank you for coming out.
I like having you here.
Andrew Bear, draft offense in the second round. Thank you, bye.
We will see you guys maybe this Saturday. I'm going to try to get home, unwind, get everything set up.
Yeah.
And our show Saturday might be a little bit later. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Until then,
go Browns.
Go Browns.
Always go Browns. Thank y'all.
Mason Graham. I told you guys it was Mason Graham.
I'm walking off.
Told y'all.
I'm out of here.
I had Mason Graham number one. Well, number one.